I'm only human. I'm just a woman. Yo, don't put the blame on me. Shout out to Rag and Bone. Yo, beautiful song. Beautiful, beautiful song, yo. Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble morning. This y'all shorty Rachel. I want to welcome everybody to the Writers for Life brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast. And y'all know when it comes to the podcast, we talk about it all. So today we're gonna have some random topics, right? We also got, two main topics we're gonna be talking about, but it's random topics, right? Them two topics I'm gonna talk about is not gonna be hours long, but one is called make sure your mouth. Make sure your mouth match them hands, right? And parents sometimes have to make a hard sacrifice when it comes to their kids, all right? Um, it is so much going on, right? We talk about this all the time. I don't know why is it that, people come on here and say, I want to, entertain and stuff like that, right? But lately, I'm gonna be very honest, a lot of people coming on here, people ain't roasting, they not joking, people taking it left, too left. You know how the Democrats took it way too left? Well, a lot of people are taking it way too left here on social media, right? And like I say time after time, I feel as though that a lot of people come on here to do the things that they can't do outside, right? Out here in these real streets, right? Out of the virtual world. What they can't do, away from behind the screen. And it's weird, like, because half the shit that people come on here to say, my bad, I didn't mean, I'm trying to stop the cussing, but I'll get there, I promise y'all. Half the stuff that people come on here and say and do, right, can get somebody really, really hurt out here. Like, I don't understand. Like, people get in their ego on here, right, for the smallest and pettiest thing. Me, I say personally, right, I don't know why, words could lead to somebody's emotions getting so inflamed to the point where, threats happen and somebody can actually lose their life once again. What is it that triggers somebody on social media? Like, what people do on here, they won't do out there. Like, sometimes we really, really, really got to watch what she say. But listen, we're going to get onto that in 1 second, right? Because we're going to start off this live with Papa Duck. Papa Duck has, let me get off of this, John. Papa Duck is bringing awareness to the bullshit on social media. Let me see. Here we go. It's so much going on. Like, people, watch what y'all say on these Jones, man. Look, listen, some people get offended if you say something about their business, if you say something about them. Like, some people get mad to the point where when they can't keep it on you, they'll bring in family members. They'll bring in people that you care about. They'll even come in and disrespect the deceased. People that can't even come out and stand up for themselves. Like, oh yeah, I almost lost my StreamYard. What's going on? Let me see. I think here we go. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to make a change, they want to make a difference, but still stuck in the same phase. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to chase a bag, but stay at home and nag. Then when you ask them what they need, they say less talking, more opinions, no prayers with division. You ask me, y'all need to focus more on revision, rely less on television. How you want a future you have no vision? This world is just like fiction. What we need is more talking, less opinions, more prayers with no division. Before you come up with a conclusion, giving people false illusions, pick up a book, do your research, learn your history before you end up in a ditch making history. Division and religion isn't working. The only way to show God our faith and love is through our actions. Our convictions is the only thing that really unite us. One God, one nation, different beliefs. There's words that can't fly with the wind. There's insults that are not violent. Meanwhile, while you're home to them, they're killing you on the inside. If I was to tell you that I didn't hurt, I would be lying. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that there's truths that lie, especially when they're telling you that they're indifferent? Getting shoved to the side because you're different. There's a hug out there someone didn't receive today. Probably because of what was said about them yesterday. Probably because of the way they was dressed today. Not realizing that the one that they hate could be the one that saves their day. But you know what? Thanks to them, It's another day in history where you get to flip the pages to your book and speak your story. And Lord, it's unholy. But you know what hurts the most? As I walk down the street and I see how easily we're divided. When we all should be united. One body, one mind, one soul, a million talents. Lord, without you, we're all divided. Forgive them, Lord, for they don't know any better. They don't know that there's someone out there that loves them. I just think that people are just very, very miserable out here. And you know, misery loves company, right? But let's check out the story that Papa Doug has to show us, right? And then I found the little news clip on it so we could play the whole little clip and actually hear what happened with this Memphis social media star that got federal charges for, I guess, a murder for hire. So Papa Duck says, man, social media has struck again in the Black community. Watch what you say online to people. And make sure your mouth match them hands, man. For real, for real.
This world coming to, bro? You tell me.
Ashley Grayson once claimed she made $1 million in only 60 minutes. Well, now she's headed to prison for 10 years.
Her Facebook page, Grayson showed off her new mansion in North Carolina and showed generosity in Memphis. I was there. She gave a free house away to a family. But behind the fame and fortune was fury. The Department of Justice says she flew a Memphis woman to Dallas to discuss a business opportunity. The job, murder for hire. She offered $20,000 for each victim for the woman to kill Grayson's former boyfriend and a Texas woman who made negative social media posts about Grayson.
Yo, she killed her boyfriend. She did a murder for hire, and she hired somebody to off her boyfriend and off a woman that was posting social media comments on her page, like on her videos. Like, this is crazy. Like, yo, words cannot be that deep that can make somebody get so emotional, their ego so inflamed to the point where they come out here, either hire somebody to, off somebody or off somebody themselves. Like, yo, listen, do y'all remember our elders used to always say sticks and stones will break our bones, but names will never hurt us? Like, I've had so many people try me here on social media, right? And the best thing that I could do is just walk away. Sometimes we have to pick our battles wisely. Like, when we're trying to reach something, when we're trying to reach our goal, right? For example, for me, I'm out here, I'm trying to help the kids. I'm trying to help the youth. You see where I'm coming from? I don't mind being entertained, right? Some people call it mixing and mingling. Listen, I call it whatever you fucking want to call. Me personally, I'm gonna watch whatever the hell I want to watch on here, right? It don't stop the politics from watching what they want, the politicians from watching what they want to watch, right? They do what they gotta do, and when they got their free time, they sit down, watch what they want to watch, whether it's horror, comedy, man, I do the same shit. I come on here when it's my free time. I watch whatever I want to watch. I support who I want to support. You see where I'm coming from? But we do have to watch certain people that we support on here, because not everybody that says that they ride with you is for you.
That's up for over 100,000 people to see.
Grayson posted this conversation to her Facebook page, claiming the murder for hire was all a joke. But federal records show it got more serious. A $5,000 bonus if she killed the South Haven woman within a week. The woman told investigators she even captured video of flashing police lights from another random Memphis crime and sent it to Grayson, claiming she attempted to kill the victim and demanded $10,000.
Yo, what?
Grayson's husband, Joshua, was acquitted of all charges. 10 years or 120 months in prison was the maximum sentence allowed for her charges.
Yo, did you see that, bro? Listen, bro, I don't understand, dog. People become successful and then they just want to pay attention to the negative shit and crash out. Man, they let.
Yo, you ain't lie. I'm about to play you right back, Papa Duck. Give me a second, boo. I ain't mean to interrupt you like that, all right? Just give me 1 second. I just want to show them the full clip, all right? I'll be right back to you, boo. So, when you look at it, let's not get no ads on here. Hold on 1 second. We don't want no ads.
In other news, glitch.
So when you look at it, when you look up for this article in this news clip, you go search glitz, glamour, and murder for hire. Memphis social media star sentenced to federal prison. Yo, this shit is crazy. Did I share it? Yeah, I did. All right.
In other news, glitz, glamour, and now federal prison. A Memphis internet star promised to help you make millions, but in the end, she used her money for murder.
Ashley Grayson once claimed she made $1 million in only 60 minutes. Well, now she's headed to prison for 10 years.
Damn, she made $1 million in 60 minutes being a social media star. Yo, so in 60 minutes, in an hour, she made $1 million that she said she was going to give back to the community, but instead, she used that money for hire. Yo, I don't know if it's the money that changed her or what happened, but I be telling people, man, stay the same. Don't let money, don't let fame change you. But you know what? We was told, we know what the truth is. Money is the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil. Like, they don't talk about us unless we really commit a crime in this bitch, yo. For real, for real. They don't talk about us only when there's a crime. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that in this world, with or without money, we're all rich, even the poor? The problem is those that say that I'm reaching out to give a hand and stay they leeching hands is itching, ready to see you missing. Well, I think I went to write. Something inside me told me I can freestyle or I can rap. I can go with a rhythm that can make you dance. Tell you what I see on a daily, tell you everything's okay just to avoid dilemma. Or I can simply bring you something positive to the table and warn you of the ongoing problems that we're having. Instead, I have to reach out to my conscience once again as I watch the crime and the violence rise and the kids lose their innocence. Now, the concept of forming a home day by day loses its essence. They don't want to hear that. I can't keep my arms crossed in front of the system. If I don't do something, I'm also part of the problem. As guilty as the one that pulls the trigger, like the person in the crowd that hits the record button on their phone to expose a lie instead of the truth for clout. They need 1,000 views. The government doesn't have a solution. The problem started when we took God out the equation. The problem ain't us celebrating. The problem is that we're a nation divided when we should be a nation united and praying. That's how we live today. When problems occur, we come up with a meaning. Laugh a little, move on with no care in the world, as if it ain't even a thing in this world. If it's like this today, I don't want to see the future. Because nowadays, they'll make a meme out of a person that can't even see the day of light no more. What makes you think they care? They can't even break bread at the table. I don't know how you want to be rappers and lyricists can go on with life, living on an illusion with nothing good to write. Talking about killing someone, selling drugs with pride, until the scripts are flipped and it's someone you love dies. Right? This ain't solved by activating the National Guards and going behind bars. This is deep, this is me and you. And they say as time pass by, we'll heal everything. Shit, you know these scars? I seen time flash by and never felt everything. Leaving me on standby, ready to kill everything. Alone in the mirror, looking at myself, say, girl, you're everything. You don't need for anything, shorty. So unless you walk a mile in my shoes, don't say anything. Just take a minute and listen so you can consume everything. Me and you are not the same, so make sure you look both ways when you cross me, and that's on everything. I don't know what this world is coming to, y'all.
In other news, glitz, glamour, and now federal prison. A Memphis internet star promised to help you make millions, but in the end, she used her money for murder.
Ashley Grayson once claimed she made $1 million in only 60 minutes. Well, now she's headed to prison for 10 years.
Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon found new details in her sentencing documents about the victims, the money, and a fake murder attempt.
Yo.
If you've ever left a negative review for a business, you may have done it to warn other customers or get back at the business for poor service. But a negative review against Ashley Grayson's online courses left her mad enough for murder. It doesn't get more glamorous than this. Ashley Grayson's wedding proposal on a yacht with a personal serenade by R&B star Monica.
Oh, she had Monica sing on her wedding?
Grayson's story was a Memphis rags to riches dream come true. She opened her business with an overdrawn bank account, then claimed she made $1 million in 60 minutes. An instant social media star, she pledged to help others. She opened an online course. She'd fix your credit and teach you to make your own fortune. On her Facebook page, Grayson showed off her new mansion in North Carolina and showed generosity in Memphis. I was there. She gave a free house away to a family.
Ashley is just everything to us. Like this is everything, and she know it. Yeah, I'm indebted to her for the rest of my life.
But behind the fame and fortune was fury. The Department of Justice says she flew a Memphis woman to Dallas to discuss a business opportunity. The job, murder for hire. She offered $20,000 for each victim for the woman to kill a South Haven woman who ran a similar company, Grayson's former boyfriend, and a Texas woman who made negative.
She was mad enough that she grabbed that bread and got a lady to do a murder for hire. So in the process, she's planning on often her competition, her boyfriend, and the lady that left bad reviews on her social media platform.
Negative social media posts about Grayson.
And like, you don't want her hurt, and they just want her gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, out of here. Put my address off for over 100,000 people to see.
Grayson posted this conversation to her Facebook page, claiming the murder for hire was all a joke. But federal records show it got more serious. A $5,000 bonus if she killed the South Haven woman within a week.
Oh, wow.
The woman told investigators she even captured video of flashing police lights from another random Memphis crime and sent it to Grayson, claiming she attempted to kill the victim and demanded $10,000. Grayson's husband, Joshua, was acquitted of all charges. 10 years or 120 months in prison was the maximum sentence allowed for her charges. Kayla Solomon, Fox 13 investigates.
That is crazy. I don't know what would cause somebody to do that. Like, a bad review? So you're telling me that somebody just left a bad review and you sat here and hired somebody to off them? I just want to know why your boyfriend? Like, what did your boyfriend do to you? Your competition, though? Like, this lady is shot out. Like, instead of beefing with your competition, like, damn, it's that deep. You're trying to off your competition. Why don't you just better your company and better yourself, and you can beat your competition? Like, people is out of pocket. I'm done. Like, common sense ain't common sense no more. Blessings, 22 Ronan. Blessings, pastor. We got the pastor in the house too, baby. So let's hear what Mabu got to say.
Oh, did you see that, bro? Listen, bro, I don't understand, dog. People become successful and then they just want to pay attention to the negative shit and crash out. Man, that lady was ready to hire somebody to take out her husband.
Real shit.
And some other social media person for saying some stuff on social media. Listen, bro, it ain't worth it. I just want y'all to take from this video that people will do something to you about what you put on social media. Social media validates a lot of shit. Social media validates husband and wives. People who went, paid for it, when signed the paperwork, still social media got to say so, and whether this shit is real or not. Validation, that's how strong social media is. And everybody want to run the social media with their problem. You feel me? So when you got an issue with a motherfucker, you want to run the social media, bro. Don't do that, because everybody don't take that lightly. As you see, the lady was ready to crash out. Ain't no ready, she crashed out. 10 years, dog.
10 years, federal prison.
Successful, got money, still ready to put them bands up on the big head. That crazy, bro. Shouts out to Street Elements, man, for this. You know what I'm saying? I got to get them boys a shout out. Y'all make sure y'all follow them boys. I love their page. But I'm telling y'all, bro, people will see you talking that shit on Facebook and see you in traffic, boy. See you in the supermarket, boy. And you have to stand on business. I just want y'all to, man, don't take this lightly.
He ain't lying. Don't take this shit lightly, Crashing out over video games. They crashing out over the craziest shit, man. She had a whole business. Like, she was successful. She was an influencer, basically, kind of. But she was, she was also promoting, her business and stuff like that. She gave somebody a house, you see, out of what she was doing. So she was giving back in the beginning, right? But what changed her? What can cause somebody to, crash out that bad? See, me personally, I've been threatened on this John, right? Like I tell people, listen, it's happened. So at the end of the day, like I say, once you get disrespected on this John, once the disrespect goes to threats, you see where I'm coming from, and you didn't do nothing to these people, but give nothing but an honest opinion, and your opinion inflamed their ego so much to the point where, they get so offended and they start throwing threats. That's where I say, fuck it. We done right here. Ain't no more talking. Ain't no more, I'm trying to work it out. None of that. Once that shit happens, I say, keep that energy. You see where I'm coming from? And keep it to yourself. Stay where you at, because at the end of the day, when you come this way, you see where I'm coming from? Make sure you got that same energy, because the same energy you gave me will be the same energy I give you. Once somebody threatens me, I don't trust them. So I be cautious. You see where I'm coming from? I don't threaten nobody back. I don't do none of that. My thing is keep that energy. You see where I'm coming from? I'm not crashing out for you or nobody else. Me personally, I'm not crashing for nobody. But if you come to me, I'm sure as hell going to defend what's mine. You see where I'm coming from? So people got to watch what they say. Me, I don't trust people. I'm in the dirty sector roasting. He said I'm in the dirty sector roasting. But see, people not even roasting. When people see that, right, that they can't offend you with what they say, or they can't get you mad, or you're not moving them or shaking them, right, they'll start trying to poke and poke and poke, and they'll aim for family and stuff like that. You see where I'm coming from? Hey, that can get ignored, right? But once you start throwing threats, right, because you feel some type of way, you see where I'm coming from? That's where I get cautious. I tell everybody, keep that energy. Keep that same energy. Because listen, God forgives. I don't. You see where I'm coming from? At the end of the day, God forgives. I don't have to. Because there's nothing here on social media that should offend people to the point where they'll call somebody out their name, right? Or threaten somebody. So me personally, like I said, I'm not just going to threaten nobody for no reason. I'm not going to come on this bitch and threaten nobody for nothing at all. Like, what's the point? What's the point of coming on here and beefing? If you're going to roast and you know that you're in a channel that people are roasting, roast. But people don't roast no more. This shit that's happening now on social media is not roasting. That's why some of these people need to be careful. They really need to be careful, because a lot of people on this bitch, you know how out here you burn bridges? Motherfuckers on social media burn bridges. Like, there's people out here willing to do some crazy ass shit. Hey, boo, you staring right at me like, what's up? Anyways, yeah, give, receive. And that's what I'm saying. Like, me personally, I'm not going to meet up with nobody. Somebody says I'm pulling up. Okay, we'll see. Let me just give out the word. Let me show a picture of who you are or a video. You see where I'm coming from? Like, that's the person that threatened me. Say, yay. They said, watch my back. So, if y'all see this person around here, just let a shorty know. You see where I'm coming from? Or get him the fuck out of here. Don't even wait. Don't even tell me. Get him the fuck out of here. See, people don't realize that when they say shit like that, how is you going to go into somebody's community, somebody's hood, step foot in that hood and think it's going to be Gucci? You got to watch what you say on social media. You got to watch your mouth. Make sure that your mouth match them hands. And make sure that when you say what you say, you got people to back your ass up and defend you and bail out, in case push come to shove, bail your ass out of jail. And you know what's crazy? When situations like that happen is when you see people's true colors. You know who's really there for you. Yo, this is not the time for you to be here. Good night. Good night. Good night. Bye. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. I apologize. I had to get my child in order. She over here in a grown-up conversation. Like, I had to put the kid in the kids area. I apologize. Yes, I'm not arguing. I don't do that shit on here, man. Like, I've gotten people mad because I've been calm, cool, and collected on some real shit. Like, I'm not beefing with you. I don't know nobody on this John for me to sit here and beef with. So at the end of the day, if you got a problem with me, handle that shit. Don't sit here and say you're going to meet up if you're not going to meet up. That's why I could tell that a lot of shit on here are plays. A lot of this shit on here are plays. They really are, because a lot of people talk all that shit not realizing If you step in my hood, I ain't gonna forget that threat. You see where I'm coming from? I'm not gonna go looking for you because I ain't beefing. You see where I'm coming from? I'm not arguing. I don't have a problem with you. I don't know nobody on this joint from a can of paint. That's me personally. But there's people on here that have crashed out. There are parents out in community meetings, right, that are nervous and scared for their kids, right? There's a lot of bullying going on, right? And it's a little off topic, right, on social media, to the point where kids, grown ass adults, have taken their lives because people have tried to use people's past on them because that's how mad they've gotten. They couldn't get to them roasting. They couldn't get to them joking. So what they do is they'll come and try to hit you with your past. And it's like I tell people, me personally, you can't get me. Respect is earned, not given. That's some real shit right there. Me personally, you can't get me. Like, you would have to do something worse than what's happened to me in my past. And to be honest, like I tell people, you can't. You cannot hurt me more than what I've been hurt. And I've turned that pain into motivation. That pain that I've turned into motivation has helped other women, other young women out here. So that, to me, that's what matters. That's a plus right there. It's hard to do that. It's hard to reach other people and help them and motivate them. So at the end of the day, watch what you say. Like, not everybody on here is for play. Some people on this joint will be fast as shit to grab that and pew. That's all I gotta say. Like, yo, watch your mouth. Make sure your mouth match them hands. You could tell who fake on this joint, who's, playing scripts, who's playing around. Like, not everybody's for that shit. Everybody, like me personally, I don't do scripts. I don't play around. Now, I like watching people that roast and, do all that stuff. I just don't like the disrespect. Because like I tell people, I can't top your disrespect. But me, I'm not going back and forth with somebody on social media. If I had you here to face, boy, it's a different story. But motherfuckers on here they hide behind a keyboard, right? And they just type their asses away, and that's their safe space. There's no safe space on social media, especially when people can find you. You keep thinking that behind the screen you're safe. Motherfuckers is tripping on this bitch.
You feel me? You people open up to you and send you stuff, and when you get pissed off at it, you want to put all these receipts online, man. People blow your motherfucking brains out by putting their business out there, bro.
Shit.
And that video.
Tell them, boo.
All that playing and kiki, man, don't do that, dog.
Where my hubby at?
Do not do that. Everybody don't take that lightly.
You gotta go work in the morning.
You feel me? And it's fucked up that she,
keyboard
out of
warriors,
all the options she could have choose, man, to knock her husband off and to knock somebody off that's on social. She could have did a lot of other things. I don't know the backstory of what her husband did and all that, but it ain't worth that. Not when you got them bands and you done came up, you successful, and no, man. I just want y'all to understand, but this shit real in the field, boy. These people will catch you, and you gonna have to stand on business, boy. Social media validates the, let me tell y'all something.
He ain't lying. Social media validates. Motherfuckers come on here looking for validation. That's why the times that they've called me out, I ain't giving you my validation. What you want my validation for? I don't need yours. I don't need you to get validated. I don't need you. You see where I'm coming from? So when motherfuckers come on here trying to cuss and trying to do all this shit, trying to get gangster, you really gangster behind a fucking keyboard, behind a screen? You just type your ass off, talking shit. Like, man, listen, you ain't getting my attention like that. That's not how you gonna get my attention. So I'm not validating you. And you're gonna get what you're looking for. Listen, if you come out here trying to do that, you're gonna get exactly what you're looking for. I can't touch you behind the screen. You see where I'm coming from? So, hey, when you come out here, then we meet. Then it's curtains. Also, commentary earns respect. Facts. That's some real shit. But you got to be respectful in that commentary too. People don't know how to comment respectfully either. I've had some people be so disrespectful, but that don't mean that I'm going to go out here and hire somebody to just off somebody. You see where I'm coming from? Like, man, they just words. There's nothing on the social media app that's going to make me sit here and kill somebody. Now, if somebody come out here on some, I'm like, listen, if they come and they threaten me and then I see them in my hood, there's nothing that I could sit here and say. There's no promise I can make that this person's coming out, walking out of my hood. You see where I'm coming from? Like, man, people got me chopped in this, John. Like, that's why I don't take people serious. Now, if I see you in my hood, oh shit, okay, this motherfucker's serious. Hold up. 911. My name is Griselda Blanco. I need you to come and give me an orange suit and put them cuffs. I need them bracelets in my hand. Make me beautiful for my prison cell. Shit.
People worry about what people say in the comments. People get on social media thinking everybody watching, they got to be pretty, they got to do all this. You see me, I'm all woofed out and all that shit. Like, listen, bro, I understand I'm a regular person, but some people take the social media shit so far, they'll get up every day and put.
Yep. Tell them. Look at me, shit. I know I'm beautiful. My baby pops tells me every day. He say, you beautiful no matter what you put on, no matter what hairstyle you got. He says you're beautiful inside out. So listen, man, I know I'm beautiful. Shit. Beautiful to me, baby.
Put on clothes and makeup just to take pictures to get likes and comments, bro.
Yeah. Shit, I ain't got to put no makeup on.
Likes and comments, bro.
Listen, man. Yep. Listen, man. And I still dress tomboyish. Hey, no shame in my game. I ain't got to sit here and look like a hoe. I'm good. I get respect dressing, properly. Like, listen, man.
That's how much we validate social media. And you can't just always take it upon yourself and be like, oh, it shouldn't be like that. You're right. A lot of shit should be the way it is, but I don't look at what shit should be. I look at how it is.
Tell them,
baby.
Should
steal and kill every day, but they do. Y'all got to hear that noise because they watching the truck right now. But listen, man, be careful what you say about people churn. Be careful what you say about people. Be careful what you post about people. Because like I say, even a little incident that happened in Sanford a couple weeks ago, where the girl got into it, girl went to the girl house, he fought her, shot her, killed her. That shit wasn't worth none of that. I don't give a damn what they were talking about on social media. It just wasn't worth it, dog. And it's not gonna hit you until somebody you lose to something like that, like a senseless crime. Man, do you know how I feel, man, to get up and go to the wake and see a person laying in that motherfucking casket, bro, all over this shit? Do you know how I feel to go to that funeral to see the kids? Don't know what's going on, depending on how old they are. You see the children, you see the families. You have to sit down and fill out this paperwork on how y'all gonna bury this person. Man, that shit ain't worth it. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Sometimes, dog, you got to learn to be a thinking man or a thinking woman, because this will sometimes help you get out of some of the most senseless situations, bro. All you gotta do is think. You gotta be a thinking man or a thinking woman, bro. Because it just don't make sense. You feel what I'm saying? And like I say, bro, the shit getting worse and worse, man. I tell people, man, these phones, these are black mirrors. If you know anything about black mirrors, go look at this mirror on the wall. Y'all thought that was just a little nursery rhyme, but that shit go way deeper than that, bro. These are reflections. This is why I say, if somebody posts some shit that you don't like and it get you in your feelings, stop following them. And it could be a classmate. It could be an ex. It could be somebody you grew up with.
That don't matter who it is. Listen, if you realize that somebody's not your cup of tea, move on. Don't watch them. Don't listen, man. Once I realized that certain people are not who they portray to be on this John, right? I'm out there, John. Once I'm disrespected on a channel, or I notice that, my comments offensive, I'm out there, John. I don't need to be here. You see where I'm coming from? I'm not going to be where I'm disrespected. For what? I lead with respect, so I'm expecting for somebody to lead back with respect. So if you're disrespecting, I'm going to say some fly shit back. And that's the problem with people on this John, right? They get offended when they don't like people. Let's put it like this. People in reality don't like the response that people give back. They ask questions they really don't want answers to. They want you to answer their question, but it has to be what they want to hear. If it's something that they don't want to hear, it's fuck you, I'm a kill, I'm a do you, and it goes on from there. Like, people is out of pocket. I feel as though there's a lot of people on this John belong at Friends Hospital. Like, I feel as though that sometimes when I come onto social media, I feel like I'm in an episode of Gotham City. Like, for real. I'm on this John watching Batman. Have the motherfuckers in this bitch as jokers.
Family member, whoever, if they post something and Just be real. You might be a little jealous on, or you might think like, oh, what the fuck they got to get this, they got that. They posting they cars and money. If it gets in your feelings, man, stop following.
Yep. Bro, shit.
That's what this shit is designed to do. People gonna show their highlights. They ain't gonna show their low lights. Bitch ain't gonna show them when them lights get cut off. Bitch gonna show you everything to get you in your feeling to make you think they just doing it. Come on, bro. Life ain't no motherfucking party.
Facts. Listen, man, people come on this John pretending like they got the happiest family. Like they got all this money in the world, and in reality, it's not like that. It really isn't. That's why I don't come on this John portraying to be something I'm not. I'm not on this John as a character. I am who the fuck I am. The way I am on here, I'm outside on these streets. I'm not a fucking character. So, like I tell people, I be serious on this app, right? I like being entertained. You could basically say I'm like a politician, right? I handle my business, do what I gotta do. You see where I'm coming from? And then when I'm got my free time, I wanna get some giggles. I wanna, fall back, enjoy myself. Whether it's watching movies, whether it's, on YouTube or listening to music. So at the end of the day, like the disrespect that's given on this John, that shit's gonna be given. See? If you don't earn that bitch, you ain't getting that John. Like shit, what the fuck wrong with people? People out of pocket on here. Like they want people to kiss their ass. I am not patting nobody's ego on this fucking app. For real. I'm dead serious. Don't ask me a question if you don't want the answer to it. Like, if you don't want my honesty, don't ask me a question. For real. Just shut up and stay in that corner.
But if they put that perception out there and you perceive it as that, then that's what it's gonna be. It ain't. You see what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real, bro. That lady crashed out, man. 10 years, she out of them. 10 years, man. Probably never been to prison day in her life, dog. Probably never been to jail day in her life. Reality can change just like that, dog. That's why I say, be a thinking man or a thinking woman. All that other key shit, get out my face with it, bro. I'm not doing it. It's just some things, bro, I ain't doing it, bro. You say what you want to say about Papa Duck. That's your, like my mom always said, that's your mouth. Just don't put your motherfucking hands on me. I don't care what you say. That's your mouth, bro. And a lot of times, like I tell people, bro, when stuff come to you, or you heard somebody say this about you, and said that about from a resourceful person, or not know anybody, but somebody you got proof of, or you feel like, yeah, they ain't gonna lie to tell you that. When some come to you about what somebody said, it ain't always that whatever come up gotta come out. You ain't got to tell a motherfucker you know that or a bitch said that, man. That shit be that wise. You gotta be a thinking man or a thinking woman. Sometimes that shit for you to know. So when the bitch come around, you know how to move. Why would you tell them? You ain't got to tell. What's gonna change? They ain't gonna do but deny it, or whatever the case may be. But long as you know, that's how that person feel about you. You can move accordingly. You see what I'm saying? So like I say, man, this shit is why women don't send men nude pictures no more. You feel me? Because when a nigga get mad or whatever, they gonna put that shit on the internet. Now you got it. A bitch did my cousin like that. Now you got to see this shit cause somebody got mad because somebody wanted to send you some. Come on, bro. Females do it too. But I'm telling you, social media is a platform for some people to be messy, dog. Bitch gonna put the receipts out on you, and you could be just open up.
Man, females, fellas, stop sending y'all nudes because it don't matter which gender it is, they gonna post that shit on social media when they pissed off. Like however they can get at you, they gonna get at you.
To somebody, man, just some stuff you did, or open up to them. You trying to be a little shoulder, you want them to be a shoulder for you to lean on, and then they get mad at you. They want to post all the shit that you told them.
Right?
And people do that shit, dog. That's why I say, man, y'all be real with this social media shit, man, because this shit fake. But at the same time, man, people really gonna just like put that in the forefront as if, they're gonna use that to get the message out, to embarrass you, to belittle you, to put your business out there. And I'm telling you, everybody don't take that shit the same. Bitch gonna see you in traffic, and a bitch, you gonna have to stand on business.
Yep. Stand 10 toes down on what you say. So
as you see, what can happen will happen. That's all I want y'all to take from this. Like a lot of stuff, I don't look at it like I used to when I was younger. I look at it like that shit could really happen. So I have to respect that. Damn how I feel. It could really be to a point where a person can get in their feelings to the point they want to hire somebody to kill your ass. You can really get that way. You feel me? So with that being said, bro, y'all be wary, man, of what y'all might say to people online, cause boy, they might just catch your ass in traffic. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But so shouts out to Street Elements, man. It's your boy Papa Doc, man. Classic weekend. If you come to Orlando, look, don't come with that bullshit, man. Y'all come hang out, have a good time, make it home safely to the kids, and just enjoy yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything gonna kick off this weekend. You feel me? So with that being said, man, I love y'all, man. And like I say all the time, in order for you to be found, you must first be loved. All right? Peace.
Yo, he was speaking some real shit right there, man. Y'all, people need to calm down. They need to listen. I don't know what's up. Like, I think some people just need to stay off social media. It's no point on being on social media if your egos get inflamed like that. For real, for real. There's no safe space. I keep saying that shit. It don't matter if you're, a victim, a survivor. There's no safe space. The only safe space you can create on social media is logging off. Like, or just leaving whatever panel is being disrespectful or wherever it is that you're being disrespected at. Like, that's the best thing that I could say right there, man. Right? Like, I just put the wrong one on. My bad. Wrong screen. I wanted to show y'all this right here real quick, right? If you go to Google, right, this shows you, right? It says, since social media was introduced, some people have taken their lives as a result of cyberbullying. Furthermore, suicide rates among teenagers have increased from 2010 to 2022 as social media has become something that people interact with more throughout their day-to-day lives. And what's crazy is, right, whether you believe it or not, some people come on here, right? Some people come to social media is to some people, social media is like a form of therapy, right? They'll come on here, they'll talk. You see where I'm coming from, right? They'll bring awareness to certain things, right? They'll end up creating a motivational, inspirational channel. From there, they end up becoming influencers. Some influencers, are all right. Some influencers are, you got to be careful, really, really careful, because some of these influencers will do things on social media that will manipulate or brainwash your child to do things that, they shouldn't be doing. A lot of these challenges that have been created, like I said before, have been started by adults. And a lot of these adults that have created a lot of these challenges have been in social media influencers, believe it or not. So we have to be careful what we do and what we say here on social media. Like, a lot of people come on here and they think that, oh, let me just curse this person out, make them feel this little, belittle them, bash them. That's not considered bullying. It's kind of is. And then when you're constantly harassing somebody, that's like a form of stalking. Like, listen, me personally, I stay away from people like that. When I see red flags in people, I don't think I'm in an adventure at Six Flags. Once again, once I get a certain vibe off of somebody, and yes, you can get it. The way people talk on this, John, right? You can get a vibe off of them. Believe it or not. Like, give me 1 second, guys. Like, people will give off some good and bad vibes off in this John, man. Hold on. Before I go into that, let me see if this is the other one. Hold on. Because what happened to the video? Did it go? Okay. Here we go. Facts. We all know better than to be controlled by words, but people still let themselves get controlled and manipulated on this John. See, because when somebody comes on here and, they got this little script, some people at first don't know that they're being played, right? Or they're being drawn into whatever, somebody got going on. Once they realize it, they should leave, get the fuck out. But some people stay. And I guess some people are hard-headed. Listen, man, I've been almost fooled a couple times. Like, I'm thinking people are like this on certain panels. You see where I'm coming from? And it's like, oh, okay, this is what you want to do. This is how you want to play. I'm like, you testing me. You try and get me, you try and get me to react in a certain way to boom, boom, I'm like, damn, I thought we was cool. And I'm like, I'm good. Let me walk away. And I've tried to walk away nicely, but I guess people, listen, like I said, people don't cherish their lives. People don't feel blessed in the morning when they wake up sometimes. So they come on social media and just, cause chaos. Misery loves company. Like, people don't get tired of saying that. Let me see. I had an article, but it somehow. Let me see. I'm looking for this video. Damn, like. All right, so since I can't find my little video that I had set up, I don't know what happened. Like, the screen got shut down. Let's play this one. We got 6 insane murders, right? Where they at? Here we go. We got 6 insane murders caused by social media. So let's see what these are. I had a freaking video somebody sent me. I'm mad as shit. I can't find it right now. So we're going to go to this little backup one. Let's go into YouTube with it. Which channel am I on? Okay, I'm on the right one. So let's see the 6 insane murders that have been caused by social media. I don't understand. Like, yo, ain't nothing in this world that's going to cause me to crash out like this. Not people on social media. There's no way in hell. It would have to be something real deep. Real.
6 insane murders caused by social media. Social media has transformed our society. From the way we communicate, spend time with friends, find new people, and more, it's become a part of our lives. While social media has its advantages, it also has its flaws. These are...
Yo, that's some real shit. I don't get tired of saying that to people. Yo, social media has its benefits. When social media started, right, it was more so that people could communicate, from a long distance, right? It was more to promote businesses. Like, it wasn't for this shit. Like, I don't think that they would have came up with this idea if we wouldn't have showed them that money could be made out of hating each other. Like, for real, for real. But what's crazy is that there's people on here that do positive stuff, right? And they get monetized here on social media, right? And they give back to the community. Like, I've seen panels like that, and you don't hear bad things about them. So what causes people to change when they make it to, a certain level in life? Like, that's something I can't understand. Like, people really change, like, especially those that feel as though, oh shit, I'm already famous. I went viral in one video. You ever heard of, 15 minutes of fame? I mean, a lot of people, become, have, their little 15 minutes of fame. And then boom, you're forgotten. Like, yo, social media is not worth, is social media really worth crashing out for some of y'all? Like, I don't understand. Like, what makes social media worth crashing out? Especially if you got kids, you got a family. Like,
6 insane murders caused by social media. Number 6, Edward Richardson. It was May of 2008 when Sarah Richardson's body was found inside her home. She had over 40 lacerations and stab wounds.
I just don't like the way he's
delivery
talking.
girl reported finding both broken glass and blood at the home, so police were called. When news of Sarah's murder became public, it shocked the peaceful and quiet neighborhood of Staffordshire, England. 40 minutes after the discovery of her body, police got another call saying a man who was a victim of a knife attack was found in a field all bloody. The injured man turned out to be 41-year-old Edward Richardson, Sarah's husband.
Oh,
He'd
shit.
suffered cuts all around his neck, and police were determined he was trying to commit suicide.
Why?
Authorities took him to the hospital, and then later he was arrested. During the interviews, he told officers he stabbed his wife but couldn't remember why he did it. When he was told his wife had died, he was distraught. According to police, the two had broken up. And friends say Sarah still loved Richard, but there were serious problems in the marriage, and Sarah didn't want to be part of it anymore. With that, she started ignoring Edward's text messages. Then later, she changed her Facebook relation status to single. This triggered something within Edward, and he decided to pay Sarah a visit.
In situations like this, could social media get in the way of relationships? Do certain people let social media get in their relationship, like to the point where they believe, oh damn, I'm famous already, like I could do this, I could do that, and it's like fuck what this person that I'm with feels like. Like I don't know. Like I feel to a certain extent, people let social media leak into their personal lives and ruin it.
He entered the home by breaking the front door window. The moment he entered, he looked for Sarah and found her in the bedroom. He attacked her and brutally stabbed her with a knife. Afterward, he turned to suicide.
Oh, wow.
Edward was arrested for the murder.
And he still
The case
survived?
shocked many because changing a relationship status seemed like the last thing that could result in murder, but it was certainly the case here. Richardson was found guilty of murdering Sarah and sentenced to a minimum term of 18 years in prison. Number 5, Alyssa Bustamante.
What's she doing?
Alyssa Bustamante from St. Martin's, Missouri, seemed like a normal teenager. A bit rebellious and awkward, yeah, but no one thought she would be deeply troubled. She grew up in a bad home. Her mother was a drug addict while her father was imprisoned. So between 2002 and 2009, Alyssa, along with her younger siblings, were raised by their grandparents. Once her grandparents took custody of them, they decided to have a fresh start and moved from California to a rural ranch-like property in Missouri. When she moved, Alyssa thrived in high school, getting both A's and B's. To her
What
friends,
happened?
she looked normal. She wrote poems and loved to joke around. She was also an active member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But something snapped in her in 2007, and she attempted suicide.
Oh, wow.
Her grandparents realized that she was suffering from some mental health problems, decided to get her help. She stayed at a psychiatric.
Damn, like they should have seen the sign. She was going to church and she was dressed in gothic. Yeah, you could tell she was depressed. Like I don't think nobody's seen the signs.
Hospital for 10 days and was prescribed antidepressants. Soon after this, she began cutting herself and often showed her scars to her friends.
Wow.
Alyssa then became an entirely different person online.
Where's this?
Her Twitter feed talked about hating authority, and on her YouTube and MySpace, she listed her hobbies as cutting and killing people. More disturbing, in one of her YouTube videos, she tried to get 2 of her brothers to touch an electrified fence.
Oh, wow.
Then on October 21st, 2009,
yeah, this young lady was disturbed. Something was going on with her, either in her personal life, but I guess she was showing her subscribers what she was going through. And like I said, see, like I tell y'all, people come on here for different things, man. Like, it's a shame, like, people that portray to be something else here on social media is hiding something in their personal life. You see where I'm coming from? And I'm not saying all of them, but I think the majority of them do. Like, because it's like, I don't understand. But she was something was really, really disturbing her. Like she was going through something really mentally. Something was happening that had her mental state.
Alyssa made her darkest fantasy come to life. She asked her sister to invite her neighbor, 9-year-old Elizabeth Bolton, to come play at their house. Elizabeth often visited Alyssa's home, playing with her and her siblings. And that day, Elizabeth begged her mother to let her go out and play at Alyssa's house. Although it was late, she allowed her daughter to go for a few minutes, and she left their house at 5 p.m.
What'd she do?
But an hour later, when she still hadn't come home, her mother knew something was wrong. The next day, the FBI interviewed Alyssa regarding Elizabeth's disappearance. They also searched her home and seized her diary. Authorities then found a shallow grave in the backyard. Alyssa said she simply liked to dig holes, but further investigation revealed there was another shallow hole in the area, and this one contained Elizabeth's body. Alyssa was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Authorities revealed a journal entry that stated how she had killed someone. She admitted strangling, slitting their throat, and stabbing them. She also said it was amazing. In court, she also confessed to the killing. The defense argued that Alyssa's depression and her medications resulted in her doing the act. Alyssa Bustamante was tried as an adult. She pleaded guilty and accepted a plea deal for second-degree murder to avoid the death penalty. She was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years.
Yeah, that case, it shows you. I mean, sometimes I wonder, like, she was young. What could cause somebody to be that disturbed, that young like that? Like, if she was being abused in the house, like, whether it was mentally, physically, like, I don't know. Like, what can cause a child to be that disturbed to do things like it's like she's a young Michael Myers. Was it Michael? Or is it Jason? I think it was Michael, right? There was... Because Jason got bullied, yeah. She's like a young Michael Myers. Like, it looked like she had no guilt, no sympathy, no nothing. Like, she just didn't care. What could cause a child, like, to be that numb, that emotionless to kill another child? Like, that's crazy. And yes, it does happen. Like, I know I speak up for a lot of kids, right? But I know there's kids out here that are shot out. That are, shot out enough to do these kind of things. I've seen it, been around it. You see where I'm like, yo, man, the things you see in the hood.
Number 4, Facebook death list.
All right, so this is social media, right?
No one knows for sure who posted it, who created it, and why. But police in a southwestern Colombian town were baffled when a 69-name hit list was posted on Facebook in a span of 10 days.
A 69 hit list? All right, let's find out what that is.
According to Colombian police, they believe the hit list was posted and distributed online by criminal gangs trying to instill fear and anguish in the local community. Not only were the names posted on Facebook for everyone to see, but they were also sent to several people whose names were on the list. The threat was that those whose names were on there needed to leave town within 3 days, otherwise they would be killed.
What?
The first portion of the list was distributed on Facebook and MSN Messenger on August 15, 2010, and 2 more lists were then issued. Soon enough, at least 3 teens, 16...
Yo, this shows you that this mess that's going on social media, the mess, the bullshit, oh my God, this shit goes far back. Like, he just mentioned that this case happened in 2010. We're in 2024. Yo.
18-year-old Diego Jaramillo, 19-year-old Norby Vargas, and 16-year-old Ibart Ruiz Munez were shot dead. Damn. Another teen, Juan Paulo Anacona, who was 16, was wounded in the attack as well. All of them were named on the list. The killings in Puerto Asis, Colombia are baffling, and authorities don't know why these teens were being targeted. The individuals mentioned were known to be regular high school kids who stayed out of trouble. Out of fear, many of the teens on the list are weary of allowing people who are not their friends to message them on Facebook. However, those who are familiar with Puerto Asis will realize its familiar history, along with much of southwestern Colombia.
Okay, I was going to say, that's not in the United States.
Ground for United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia, known as AUC. This was a paramilitary force backed by the government against the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. AUC often used military force and intimidated people to take back rebel-controlled areas. These same tactics are now copied by criminal and narco gangs in order to make drug trafficking.
Damn, so you telling me that we got gangs using social media to threaten people to make them leave their communities or else? Like, yo, I'm telling you, man, yo, motherfuckers come on social media, do the most shout out thing. Like, listen, when I was growing up, right, and I grew up in the era of MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, and all that, right? Like, I really didn't hear of gangs, or well, over here is more crews and stuff like that. Well, people that are from let's to be known to be on social media like that. If they was doing something in the streets, they was not on social media. But it's like, what happened? Like, it seems apparently that back then, well, that's not even in the United States. This is somewhere, what he said, Cuba, Colombia. I think Cuba, if I'm not mistaken. Like, this shit is crazy. But these are real gang members on social media using it to try to off people that they don't like, get them to leave their hoods and shit like that. And you can see regular people doing that shit on here too. The miserable people don't got nothing to do, that come on here, hide behind a keyboard. They want to fuck with people. Yo, sure, it ain't no different. Ain't no different. But see, those people over here, they just talk. These motherfuckers over here, they got on social media and acted. They wasn't talking. That's why I say you could tell the difference on these motherfuckers, that they doing a play. Oh, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Shit. Is you entertained?
In the area easier. Residents of the small town have responded with a massive exodus, sending away their children regardless of their name being on the list or not. Colombian authorities have vowed to restore order and said they already made arrests and are asking for more information about the threats. Number 3, Daniel Garcia Manzano. There are several versions of this story online. While it's hard to determine which one is legitimate, this unusual crime did in fact happen. One story goes that Sarah Elston of Brisbane, Australia, was hoping for a reconciliation. Her ex-boyfriend, Daniel Garcia Manzano, had just messaged her on Facebook and suggested they meet up.
Yo, I personally think that couples shouldn't be on social media, like, liking other pictures, having conversations personally behind the scenes with other people. Like, I don't think so, because people is messy and they will get in between. Listen, things like this, personal things like this, I think relationships should be kept. Now, a couple wants to come on here, start a podcast and do what they do. Yeah, but personal life should be kept personal. And I don't think they should interact personally with subscribers and stuff like that, unless it's business and they doing it together. But like this, nah, like too many. Let's see what's happening in this. Why they was trying to reconciliate and what happened to begin with. Why were they having issues?
Elston was a creative artist and once described Manzano as crazy, but a good kind of crazy. Manzano visited Elston in her apartment sometime in June of 2008, and when she turned her back, she was frantically stabbed with a knife.
Oh, wow.
Several of the neighbors heard her screaming, but disturbances in the area were common, so her screams went ignored. It wasn't until the next day when Elston's body was found inside her apartment. Police arrested Daniel Garcia Manzano for the murder. It turns out Elston didn't know that Daniel was suffering from acute paranoid schizophrenia and was on medications.
Oh, wow. He had
mental
issues.
He was under an involuntary treatment order. Later on, he was found to be mentally unfit to stand trial and was placed in a secure psychiatric.
That's crazy. Wow. See, that's another thing too. I've noticed a lot of people on here do have, some type of mental health issue on here. Like, listen, like all jokes aside, right? Being serious, there's a lot of people on here with mental health issues, and you can't tell what they have behind the screen unless they tell you that they have this, they have that. Some show signs, some you can't tell. So, like I say, once again, you gotta be careful. And I'm not saying that people with mental health are bad. They, they're gonna harm you. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is like, when there's somebody out here with schizophrenia, right? People with schizophrenia have multiple personalities, right? Um, you have to be cautious. Like, oh my God, it's hard to break this down. Like, people with schizophrenia get in their emotions bad. Some, end up being stalkers, but you know what? Believe it or not, a lot of them are real sweet, real harmless. But the ones that don't want to, receive help and stuff like that, some of them come on social media, get very messy, and boom, 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 end up in jail and not in a mental facility, receiving the help that they should get. I want people to understand, right? Just because you have a mental health situation is not your get out of jail free card. They have a place for you in jail. So, I mean, I'm not trying to bust nobody's bubble, coming at nobody, but I'm just trying to tell you, playing the mental health card for those people that do it is not a get out of jail free card. Use it too many times and it's going to go against you.
Hospital indefinitely. However, there's another version of the story posted online, and this one was made by a commenter who said that Sarah Elston and Daniel were never a couple at all.
Oh, wow.
Sarah, along with her friend, had been approached by Manzano while they were at a bar one time. He began following her home each night and became her stalker of sorts. Sarah was said to be friendly and a kind girl, and decided to approach Manzano in a friendly way to make him stop stalking her. One night, she agreed to invite him over to her place. When Garcia arrived, Elston...
That is the worst. Listen, man, I am not meeting up with nobody in my crib that I've met on, met online. Yeah. We're not meeting up in my crib. Hells to the hate. No. That's the worst mistake anybody could do. Bringing a complete stranger into your home. No. And if they can't take no for an answer, that's a big red flag.
Was with another friend at the time. Sarah asked her other friend to excuse himself so the two could speak alone, but when she turned around, Manzano pulled out a knife that he had brought with him and began stabbing her multiple times. The next day, they discovered her mutilated body despite neighbors hearing screams coming from her apartment. Police initially questioned Sarah's other friend, but...
So you telling me that the neighbors heard screams coming from her? What they thought? That she was watching porn or making a movie? And the cops, either the cops took too long to come, or the neighbors ain't called until the next day. You're telling me that not one neighbor called while them screams were happening? What? Where was this at?
Later discovered about Garcia Manzano. When they found him and questioned him, he confessed to the crime without any remorse. This second story is said to be taken from the actual police report. Regardless of which version of the story is true, the fact remains that a young woman's life was cruelly taken from her without warning. Number 2, Adam Mann.
That's crazy. You got to be careful. Like I said, man, social media could also create stalkers. Listen, man, we've had predators in our chats. We have to be careful with who we let into our circle, into our panels, who we chat with, who we have conversations with, because a lot of people portray to be what they're not. And that's something that I've learned on here. I've learned that, listen, man, you could get disappointed fast in this genre, for real. And you can't let your emotions take over. Social media is not a place to come in here and just let your emotions just fly. It's not like you're talking to a therapist. You could bring awareness to things. You see where I'm coming from? We could have a story time. You see where I'm coming from? I could bring awareness to, what's happening in certain situations with certain females with my past. I'm not ashamed to speak on it and help another person. I've learned to overcome my past. It's where I'm coming from. Like, I don't mind bringing awareness to that if it's going to help the next person. And in my situation, it has. So me personally, I'm grateful for that. Now, if I wasn't helping nobody, I wouldn't be putting that out here. But I am. So at the end of the day, my past has helped so many that I don't mind talking on it. So like I tell people, listen, unless you could do to me what the person in my past has done to me, you're not going to hurt me. Ain't nobody on here capable. I'm not going to say that because predators lurk everywhere. They lure, they lurk. You see where I'm coming from? They stalk. Listen, they be everywhere. And social media is where they hide the most. Real shit. Like, we just got to be careful. Real careful.
And after divorcing in 2007, Adam Mann and his ex-wife, Lisa Beverly, didn't exactly have an amicable relationship. Mann from Welling, London,
Blessings,
and Beverly
my name is
from Plumstead were having an increasingly volatile relationship. On September 16, 2009, Mann called the child support agency and told them he had no more money for child support and that he would not be paying. But just a day before, Beverly called the CSA and told them Mann lied about being unemployed. As a result, he was sent a letter demanding payments of £400. Beverly then updated her Facebook profile with a message saying, "Now who's laughing? You've got done big time by the CS, so now leave us alone for good. Your son hates you, and so do I." The following day, Lisa Beverly was found dead in her home. She had been brutally attacked, stabbed several times, and her neck slashed with a knife. Her 5-year-old son ended up finding her body in the living room, covered in a pool of blood. The child called his grandfather, as he was taught to do whenever his mother would go into a diabetic coma. But instead of finding his mother in a state like that, Stephen Beverly was confronted with the sight of his mother's dead body. Adam Mann was arrested for killing his ex-wife. He initially denied the killing, saying Beverly had contacted him to help her stage a...
Yo, he killed that woman and left her child to see the corpse. Like, yo, some people have no heart, man. Listen, I know a lot of people, find love through social media. But me personally, I was worried about social media since I was little. And it was mostly by my old heads. So it's kind of like the one thing that I would never do is sit here and believe anybody behind the screen when they say I love you. Me personally, I don't know how, I don't know if it's a spiritual thing, but for me, I would have to have this person, I have to know this person, see this person, communicate with this person, see their actions, their behavior, right? And behind a screen, I can't really do that, even if we're on camera all day. It's not the same. So it's kind of like I don't believe on that love on the internet thing. I don't believe on that love at first sight thing. I don't believe in none of that. Like, I feel as though it takes time to get to know a person, right? And I'm not the type of chick that'll sit here and never have been jump and fall for anything. So it's kind of like, man, be careful with these people online. You don't know their real intentions. And I feel as though when you meet people online, I think that's the time when, like, if you want to get personal, you better do a whole background check on them, yo. Phones snitch too much anyway. Many gangs disallow it. Facts. 22 rolling. That's why I don't understand how gangs be on social media, man, posting shit, yo, for real. And if they do, they should realize they self-snitching. Ain't nobody snitching. You self-snitching.
Robbery at their home for insurance. When he got there, he found her dead, but still took several items. He never checked on his son or called emergency services. During the trial, of course, the jury found Mann guilty of murdering his wife. He's been sentenced to 24 years in prison. Number 1, Farmville murders. It started with MySpace. Richard
Damn. He took it way back. He said MySpace. What's this, around 2005, 2006?
McCroskey III was a 20-year-old aspiring
2002?
horrorcore rapper from Castro Valley, California. Known to his friends and fans as Sicko Sam, he often posted his music online on MySpace. It was on this same platform he met 16-year-old Emma Niederbrock. Emma was also into horrorcore and lived with her mother,
He's gothic.
Professor Deborah Kelly, at their Farmville, Virginia home. On September 17, 2009, police were asked to do a
2009.
welfare check.
Okay.
They visited the home of Dr. Deborah Kelly. Inside, they discovered several bodies,
This was when
all of
Facebook
them
was
bludgeoned
coming
to
out.
death. 3 of them were found in the downstairs bedroom, while another body was found in the upstairs bedroom. It turns out, days before the killing, Emma and her friend, Melanie, went to Michigan to watch a horrorcore concert. Together with them was McCroskey. He had flown from California to visit Niederbrock and watch the concert with her.
What does that got to do
Both
with
Deborah and Pastor Mark Niederbrock took the trio to the concert. Even though the couple had separated already, they were still involved in raising their daughter. Once they were in Michigan, there seems to have been a falling out between Niederbrock and McCroskey. According to reports, McCroskey was mad when he found out Emma sent several messages to somebody else while there. Once they returned to Virginia, he became distraught in the relationship because he thought he and Emma were seeing each other exclusively. It's unclear when the actual murder took place, but it's believed to have occurred the late evening of September 15, 2009, or early the next morning. It's thought McCroskey attacked Emma's friend Melanie, who was sleeping on the sofa at the time. After that, he headed to Dr. Kelly's room upstairs before heading downstairs to Emma's bedroom. McCroskey used a ball-peen hammer to strike each victim in the head. According to the autopsy, it's likely no one woke up during the attack since there were no defensive wounds. As for Pastor...
Damn, if somebody hit me on my dome with a hammer like that in my sleep, I wouldn't wake up either. Like, what the... Yo... See... Yo, wait a minute. Does social media influence people to commit suicide? Does social media influence people to get in their emotions to commit murder? I mean, I'm just asking, right? Like, what in the world is going on? Yo, we're gonna finish this and then we're gonna go into, deaths that occurred during social media lives, right? Parents who say social media contributed to the death of their child. Then we got another video that says parents fight to hold social media companies accountable for the deaths of their child. So I mean, we got a couple, videos on this, John. And then we're gonna go to a little story time, right?
Mark Niederbrock. He visited the home 3 days later on September 17th at about 5 p.m. McCroskey then attacked him in the living room and later moved the bodies there to try to clean the den. At some point, McCroskey even recorded himself on video, noting he would need to pay for his crimes. Before the murders were discovered, Melanie Wells' mother called the police to do a welfare check on her daughter. When authorities headed to the Kelly home, they spoke with the man there, who was actually McCroskey. He told officers Wells was out to the movies with a friend, and they didn't investigate further. The following day, Wells' mother called police again, and so the officers headed back to the home. McCroskey had already left by then, and that's when police discovered the bodies inside.
Wow.
Oddly, as McCroskey left the home, he used Mark Niederbrock's 2000 Honda. He was stopped by a deputy and given a summons for driving without a license. The officer who issued the summons didn't find him suspicious at all, and it was only later that they realized they had let go a murder suspect.
Yo.
They later found McCroskey at the Richmond International Airport on September 18th. He was trying to get home to California, but didn't have enough money to pay the difference for his ticket. McCroskey was charged with 6 counts of capital murder. He pleaded guilty to 4 of them and was sentenced to life in prison. So there were 6 insane murders caused by social media. We all use social media for entertainment. None of us think doing so could be harmful, or worse, could cause us problems. These people never saw it coming either, that social media can be quite deadly. We have new videos.
He ain't lying, but I'm just saying, like, me personally, I don't think it's social media, right? I think it's the people, what people put on here. Like, I think people become the influence, right? I don't know. I might be wrong, but that's my opinion. That's what I think. Pop Smoke, one of them. Pop Smoke. Sound familiar? Right now, I don't know. I mean, you just threw a name out there. I'm like, wait a minute. Pop Smoke. He just threw me off with that. People can't handle humiliation. And that's true. A lot of people can't. So my thing is, if you know you can't handle certain things, why come on here? It's like I tell people, right? It's not that I can't handle roasting, right? Because I be on panels with people that roast, and I be look, listen, I be geeking on them Jones, right? I be geeking. What I don't deal with is disrespect. I don't deal with disrespectful motherfuckers on this John, for real. Like, if a man is not a man of his word, and a woman is not a woman of her word, you see where I'm coming from? Like, you gonna sit here and say you like this, but you disrespectful, man. I'm good. I don't even hang with disrespectful people in real life. But yeah, people on this John can't handle smoke. They say they want the beef, but they can't handle the smoke. They can't handle what comes back. That's why me personally, I stop hopping on a lot of panels. Like, if I hop on a panel, I know that, it's going to be a good time on this panel. Like, I know we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have fun. You see where I'm coming from? We're not like going to sit here and disrespect each other. Some people came in and just attack. Some people just come in and just attack women. And that's what I'm saying. Like, some people be cool with you for a minute, and then, out of nowhere, it's like they trying to make you a part of a play. And that, I noticed that here a lot too. Like, you got a lot of two-faced people on here. So you got to be careful with people on social media. Like, people portray to be something that they not. And I think it's messed up. That's why I'm cautious now. I be careful because, I've been, listen, people have tried to play me, try to, fool me, try to draw me into doing things that I'm good. I'm not going to do that because at the end of the day, right, that's not who I am. So I'm not going to change who I am just so that, so that somebody's ego can get padded up in this joint. If I'm going to pad anybody's ego, it's going to be my man's ego. Not no motherfucker on this app. I'm dead serious. And if you feel some type of way and you want to pull up, then pull the fuck up. Like, that pull up shit, that shit be getting boring on this joint. Like, I want to have fun, but then I'm going to kill you motherfuckers. Like, what the fuck type time people be in? Yo, I'm telling you, people tripping on this joint. Well, this shit took me to Facebook. Oh shit, it's been a minute since I've been on Facebook. I got a whole bunch of messages on this joint. Damn. All right, so we got parents. All right, so my bad. We're going to change the topic. My bad. I'm changing the topic. Appreciate everybody that's on here, right? Ain't none of y'all got, ain't none of y'all have to be here, but y'all chose to be here, conversing with a shorty, right? Like, these topics do need to be talked about. There's so much shit going here on social media, right? And I feel as though, like, those that say that they're going to change, and do what they want to do it. Stop waiting for validation. Do what it is that you want to do on here, right? If it's good for you, it's good for you. Like, if somebody's not your cup of tea, move on, leave. You're not forced to watch somebody on here that you don't like, or that you consider to be boring, or you feel as though they're offending you with their opinion. You're not obligated to stay on the channel. You're not obligated to chat. If you're there, you choose to. If you're there, it's because something is drawing your attention. But you're so miserable, right? People are so miserable that they sit here and they pour their vibes, their energy onto other people. And that's why, listen, man, that's why I believe people when they say that social media is the devil's playground. For real, for real. So we got parents that are saying that social media are the reason why a lot of suicides are being committed, especially with our children, right? Parents who say social media contributed to the death of their child are stepping up to hold social media companies accountable.
Played a significant role in their children's deaths. Dozens of parents who say social media played a significant role in their children's deaths are pressuring the government to hold social media responsible.
It feeds on children's mental health. It feeds on their weaknesses. How could any child be exposed to this?
Lori Schott's daughter, Anna Lee, was 18 when she died by suicide. Her family says social media exacerbated her mental health issues. And Todd Miner's son, Matthew, was just 12 when he died of accidental asphyxiation after taking part in the viral blackout or choking challenge.
This can happen to you. We had all the protections in place.
We refuse to be silent accomplices to this injustice.
These harms are happening overnight to our average kids.
Lori, Todd, and others who've lost children are banding together and swarming Capitol Hill to lobby for the Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA, a law that would require social media platforms to protect children and teens online.
The heart of the bill says that online platforms have a responsibility in how they design their platforms to ensure that they are not causing or exacerbating eating disorders, anxiety, depression, all of the things that parents are worried about.
The bill demanding companies like TikTok change their algorithm for kids and teens to push more innocuous content as opposed to whatever is likely to keep kids scrolling. Lori says the TikTok content that consumed Anna Lee ultimately encouraged her to take her own life.
When I opened it on her For You feed, it was constant anxiety and depression and pro-harm content.
The pressure for
It's just that I don't understand why parents leave their little kids on social media, right? And listen, my psychiatrist suggests teaching anger management in schools. They should, for real, for real. That should be something that should be in schools. I ain't gonna sit here and disagree with 22 Roland, for real, for real. See, 22 Roland is a roaster, right? He considers himself a troll, but you see how he be on my chat respectful? So if I go to his chat, I'm always gonna be respectful. And that's what I'm saying. Not everybody is like this. There are people on here, they say, oh, I'm a roaster, I'm a troll, and they so fucking disrespectful. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't see nothing funny with your disrespect. And I can top that shit. But when I top that shit, I'm the villain now. I'll be talked all over social media. Right? That's what I'll be looking at people like, really? Like, what's up? Yo, people weird on this, John. But shout out to 22 Rolling, yo, for real, for real. Because he be having some knowledge, some wisdom that kids need to be hearing and adults need to hear. Because what's crazy is, right, we're talking about the social media influence, right? And what's crazy is, right, a lot of these kids, what people are not realizing is a lot of these kids are mimicking what the adults are doing, right? The stuff on the kids channels, like on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, is not really for kids. Like, it really isn't. If y'all really pay attention and listen to the stuff that's being put out there, but shout out to them channels that really do got things that will teach these kids, yo, for real. Like, what's his name? Bloopy? I think that's his name, Bloopy. He's got a real good channel, and he's had it for years. And kids go, I mean, I don't mind my daughter watching him. She loves watching him. She's 7 going on 8 right now. Yeah, Nate the Great. Yep. Yo, shout out to Nate the Great podcast. Make sure y'all go check him out. Great conversations, great topics, and he's funny as hell. Yo. But damn, I gotta fix my earbud. Hold on one second. But what I want people to realize is, right, a lot of these challenges and a lot of the stuff that's happening on social media is started by the adults. It started. What these kids see out here on these streets, what these kids see out here on social media, right? They mimic it. They transform it. It don't look like what this person has started, because this child has perfected what you have started. And what you had started probably was boring and didn't get paid attention to. But when a child looked at it, they're like, I could do this and I could probably better it. And I could do it better than what they did, and watch me make it go viral. See, in their head, they're taking the challenge. And they're going to be better than what you was. And they're going to be, listen, I've listened to these kids say so many things out here. And I'm like, I wonder if these adults listen to what the kids are saying. Like, we're the ones. We put it out there and they pick it up and they transform it to whatever they want to transform it into. Like, we got to pay attention and listen. I hear so many people talk about, like, once again, the pull-up. How many kids out here aren't saying the same shit? Yo, man, this motherfucker said some shit disrespectful. I hear it now out here. These kids be on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Talking about, oh, I'm going to pull up just like the bull on the podcast was saying. He pulled up, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, yo, let's go. I'm saying, I'm like, yo, y'all really think that life is like a video game? And some of them really do. Like, I'm saying here, like, it takes a minute for us to sit here and get them to understand what reality is. And a lot of these parents are stuck on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. They stuck, not doing something good, but influencing their child to do something bad. That's the crazy, fucked up part about it.
Change gaining momentum. 41 states now suing.
Yeah, facts. Some parents drive out of state. So once again, is it the people that are the reason why social media has become a place where people commit suicide or become bullies? Because what's crazy? People come on social media and become bullies. Listen, if you on here fucking with somebody, messing with somebody, every single day, you can't let go, you're bullying this person. But when this person fights back, you feel some type of way. How are you the victim now? Because this person chose to fight back how they felt to fight back. Let's make it make sense. If you don't want no fucking smoke, don't look for fucking beef. If you don't want somebody to say something that you don't want to hear, don't ask questions. Mind your fucking business and sit the fuck down in the corner somewhere.
Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, alleging it deceived users about the safety of its platforms and that their algorithms were designed to push teens to toxic and harmful content. Meta
Who makes
telling
the
ABC
algorithm?
News, we want to reassure
People.
every parent that we have their interests at heart. These complaints mischaracterize our work using selective quotes and cherry-picked documents. And TikTok saying, we strive to promote a safe and age-appropriate experience on TikTok through robust safety policies and parental controls. Lori and Todd say they will push forward, hoping they can save other families from their pain.
We're calling all parents. We're calling all elected officials and anybody that cares about well-being of our youth to help get TOSA passed.
Now, their bill was introduced in 2022 and has bipartisan support in the Senate and from President Biden. It recently passed a key House subcommittee. However, it hit a speed bump this week, stopping its progress for now. And these parent activists say it's holding the bill hostage, saying our children's safety should not be sidelined by legislative squabbling.
Yeah, but I feel as though that the adults have a big part in this. See, the adults are the ones that start the bullshit. The adults come on social media being messy. See, so it's like, damn if you don't, damn if you do. Let me see something. I'm trying to find another video. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all. My bad. But I had to get it together again because I don't know what is it like. All right, so I have a video here, right? Somebody posted, right? And then we're going to go into a little story time before I end this live, right? It says how the internet destroyed Generation Alpha. And, I want to know if y'all agree with what Visual Venture says or not.
What are all those touchscreens doing to all those growing little brains?
All she wants for the holidays is, well, not toys, but skincare products.
All I wanted this year was skincare and makeup.
11-year-old Olivia Clyde is obsessed with beauty products.
8th grade kid could not spell a single word correctly on this list. 8th grade.
In the 8th grade and cannot spell one single word. Shit, I be hating the autocorrect on my fucking Oh, I didn't mean to curse like that. Man, I've been cursing the whole time. Snap. I be hating the autocorrect on my phone. Shit, and that joint's supposed to have the dictionary on it, and I always look like I'm misspelling shit. But shit, you in 8th grade and don't know how to spell something's wrong. Like, listen, my child is homeschooled, and he already knows how to do cursive. He's already reading at a college level. Don't ask me what fucking level he's on. I know he's got a high level at reading. He's doing good. He's doing better in homeschool than when he's doing in the public school. For real, for real.
Generation Alpha, the supposed future leaders and current generation of our society. But with the way they're growing up, will they actually be the future generation to make an impact? Or is Gen Alpha as doomed as people say it is? Who are Generation Alpha? Gen Alpha, or people born between 2010 and 2025, is said to become the most populated generation in history, with over 2.8 million kids born every week.
So the Gen Alpha. Did the internet destroy Generation Alpha, or was it our generation that destroyed their generation? Because my generation was introduced to, MySpace, Facebook, Twitter. You see where I'm coming from? Like, it was introduced to all of that. Like, the phones. We was really introduced to all of that. We was in between that. Like shit, cable, internet, the streets. We had programs. We had a lot, damn, in our generation. Why did they take a lot away? I'm sorry, that was a random thought.
They follow Gen Z and are the children of the millennial generation. Although Gen Alpha is populating a large amount of society, why do other generations think there's no hope for this generation? With countless cases of kids acting out in public, lashing out, and behaving erratically, many believe that Gen Alpha is already ruined. You see babies and toddlers often throwing temper tantrums the second their smart devices are taken away. And teachers are begging parents to do something because their kids barely scrape by in school. Time and time again, we hear about just how doomed Gen Alpha is. But where are these horror stories coming from? And what makes Gen Alpha so different from all the generations before them? The short answer, the internet. The rise of iPad kids. When you think of a kid in today's...
Damn, he said the rise of iPad kids. That's crazy, the rise of iPad kids. I mean, I really thought that our generation, the internet destroyed our generation, but it looks like, I don't know. I really think it started with our generation. I don't know about y'all, but y'all more than welcome to leave your comments in the chat. Y'all more than welcome to, if you're catching the replay, leave your comments in the comments below. Shit, let a shorty know.
Day and age, how do you picture them? Most of you probably had an image of a kid with an iPad in their hands, right? That's because Gen Alpha is not only the youngest generation, but also the most technologically dependent one. Generation Alpha was raised by screens, whether by TV, a computer, or the infamous iPad. With almost 80% of kids owning an iPad or another version of a tablet, you can't deny.
Yeah, that is true. Compared to our generation, our kids' generation, our kids are growing up on nothing but the internet. They don't really need TV no more. The cable is not needed no more because they got apps. You could download an app on your phone. And a lot of these kids are attracted to iPhones, iPads. Like, I don't know. Could he be making a point? He got me. Listen, I got my point of view, but he's got me seeing it now from another point of view. So now I got more than one point of view, more than one way of seeing this. How do y'all feel? What y'all think?
The nickname that many call this generation, iPad kids.
This is what happens when mom and dad take away an iPad from 2-year-old Ashlyn Brooks.
Since their creation, iPads have been used as a tool for parents who are simply too busy with work. Technology has proven to be a hassle-free way of keeping kids occupied, whether at public places, social events, or just during the day-to-day. With iPads being an evolved version of parenting in the 20th century, screens are simply considered the new nanny. And although parents may benefit from relaxing after work, iPads could be doing more harm than good. It's gotten to a point where Gen Alpha is entirely reliant on their devices, growing a digital addiction that they cannot seem to stop.
Enter the world of Skibbity Toilet. Introducing the Mystery Surprise Toilet. Press the button for jump scare action. Discover mystery surprises inside.
In
Why
2000,
that wrestler's head inside the toilet though? But listen, okay, so I understand how a kid is easily manipulated, right, in this generation. But let me ask y'all a question. What's happening with the old heads, right, that are before our generation that are now on social media stuck like addicts, right? All day, just being messy, just causing drama and causing chaos. Like they on this John. I mean, I'm not throwing shots 22 Ronan. I'm just speaking my mind because you're not considered, I don't consider you one of those people that come on here, get on panels, feel offended by what somebody is saying. You're not one of those. You see, if like, listen, I'm talking about those people that come on this John and their egos get inflamed. They feel some type of way. Like, what is wrong with these people? Like, if our kids is being influenced, why are these old heads being influenced? They're on here acting like our kids, temper tantrums and all. Like the behavior that the older people display here on social media. And what's crazy is, right, he has a point. A lot of shit has to do with the internet. We have to put, a lot of our devices depend on Wi-Fi. And a lot of old heads have drawn their attention to social media, YouTube, Facebook, right? And it'd be a lot of old heads. Shout out to the respectful ones, the ones that come in here with some class, right? And the young ones that come on here with some class and stuff like that, whether they roasting or not, right? But they respectful with that shit. But what explanation do the adults, the older people have that are on this John? They're like 40, 50, 60, even my age. And they act like kids like that, like these little kids right here. It's like, ain't nobody in their house that could, I feel as though that the people that do that is because somebody gave them a device to keep them calm like they do the kids. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. I had to throw that random thought because like, if this generation is influenced by iPads, right? Then our older generation couldn't fight it and got influenced by this freaking internet. Like they got influenced by the Matrix. They got sucked in and they don't know how to get out. I think some of these older people need to, log off and get some fresh air. For real. Because some of them, boy, they be just like this. He's describing not just the kids, but the older people too. What happened to the generation before us? I'm 35. What happened to the generation before me and the one before that?
2012, a 3-year-old boy was kicked off an Alaskan Airlines flight from Seattle because of the extreme temper tantrum he threw after getting his iPad taken away. The kid had been playing with a tablet before takeoff, but when planes ascend, all devices were asked to be turned off, and this one iPad was no exception. But when flight attendants tried to get the kid to turn his tablet off, he started to wreak havoc. The child began a raging outburst, hitting his head against the roof of the plane and desperately begging for his tablet back. His family tried to calm him down and buckle him in so that they could take off, but no one was able to control him. Things got so bad that the pilot had to turn the entire plane around on the runway. The boy and his entire family was escorted off the flight, causing them to miss their vacation to St. Martin Island. Wow. And this was over 10 years ago at the start of the iPad kids generation. Since then, Gen Alpha has grown more attached to their devices. Social media has become a part of their day-to-day routines for better or for worse. worse. And
Yes,
it's
it
caused
has.
kids to become addicted to the internet. And the stay-at-home crisis that happened in 2020 only made things worse. Kids were locked indoors and were unable to get any sort of social interaction from other peers or teachers. Gen Alpha was treating technology like a full-time job, devoting 40 hours a week to using it. With social media being accessible to anyone, internet usage was at an all-time high. They couldn't go out to play because of restrictions, so the only way they could get any form of contact with the outside world was through their devices. Gen Alpha was going through critical development phases during the stay-at-home crisis. The online world became their new reality because it was all they knew. Considering the sort of horrible stuff that we have access to online, this is concerning. Technology usage on its own isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's the content that's being consumed that's the real perpetrator. Parents may think that they know what their kids are watching online, but sometimes things aren't what they seem, even in videos supposedly made for kids. Internet brain rot.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile
That's
to
what I
lend a
was
helping
reading
hand.
earlier.
You might have heard of the term brain rot. Popularized by social media, brain rot is the term that internet users have created to describe those lacking proper socialization and are obsessed with digital content to an unhealthy level.
Oh God, bro, Gen Alpha content's some of the most incoherent brain dead I've ever seen in my life, okay? Like, I can physically feel my brain cells frying every second I spend watching them.
Level 100 Gaiat, Ice Spice Riz W, Riz Gaiat. You've Gaiat to be rizzing me in Ohio at 3 a.m.
When you think about brain rot, Gen Alpha tends to be the usual demographic that comes to mind. That's because the internet has been their primary means of interaction with the world since they were born. Brain rot.
Then, okay. Can somebody explain to me what is going on with the older generation? Because in this era, the older generation is sucked in too.
Content can also be identified by the constant usage of internet slang, overly bright colors, and attention-grabbing content that switches every few seconds. A key example is popular kids media like Skibbity Toilet that seem to capitalize on Gen Alpha's decreasing attention span by overwhelming them with hyper-stimulating content. Skibbity Toilet is a web series on YouTube that features a variety of models from games like Garry's Mod and Counter-Strike as they battle in a raging war. The two sides are singing human-headed toilets, which are called Skibbity Toilets, and humanoids who have human bodies but items as their heads, like cameras or TVs. The series was created by a man named Alexei Gerasimov. It first premiered on YouTube in February of 2023. Since the first episode was released, the channel had gained over 40.6 million subscribers and has over 15 billion views to date. Each episode features the Skibbity Toilets and other characters engaged in full-on conflicts, animated in the most obscure and dramatic ways. There's never a dull moment in the videos, which to Gen Alpha is the exciting part. On the surface level, this might just seem like out-of-the-box wacky content for kids, but the harsh reality of it is that Skibbity Toilet could be damaging to children. With the constant overstimulating content, kids get used to hyperactivity, making everything else feel mundane. This can cause irritability, a low attention span, and a lack of patience since kids are now so used to hyperstimulation. Parents have long since been concerned with whether or not Skibbity Toilet is appropriate for the kids to watch, and it even got to a point where Russian authorities had to get involved to investigate the show. A Moscow man concerned over Skibbity Toilet's detrimental effects on children asked the police to block the videos from the internet to prevent kids from watching it. This investigation has gotten mixed opinions so far, with some claiming that getting the police involved over a kids series is ridiculous. Other parents also echoed the same concerns, believing that Skibbity Toilet may be doing.
Can y'all do the same thing with people on here that feel some type of way and are always making threats? Shit. Block their accounts. Don't let them come back online.
More harm than good. While there's still no conclusive answer as to whether or not the series is negatively affecting children, this form of hyper-stimulating media has become a growing trend for Gen Alpha. Parents are becoming increasingly worried that their kids are becoming like zombies because of this kind of content. Another popular kids show is CoComelon, which is usually targeted toward babies and younger children. CoComelon has become one of the most famous kids shows and has been a go-to entertainment source for parents to show their kids. But in recent months, the once favorable reputation of CoComelon has completely shifted because now parents are starting to discover a correlation between their kids' behavioral issues and the show. On December 26th, 2021, TikTok user It's Mama Bell posted a video that raised some serious concerns about CoComelon. The text on the video said that she had just switched from showing her kids CoComelon to a YouTuber called Miss Rachel, and that prior to switching, her children would just sit in front of the TV like zombies. In the comments, countless moms agreed with her, saying that Miss Rachel, who is a YouTuber who focuses on educational content, was much more beneficial for their kids. More and more parents.
And that's a fact, yo. I like them YouTubers that, really educate our kids, yo. Like, those are the type of videos I'll be trying to show my daughter. I don't like these when she was little. It drew her attention, but she outgrew it. Like the baby shark little trend, it drew her little attention, but she, outgrew it. I like the fact that she's into the shows that would teach her how to do stuff. What are they called? The do it yourself videos and stuff like that. I try to get her to, watch that if she's going to watch something. But this type of stuff, nah. Listen, my daughter don't even got her own phone yet. Not yet. She needs some more time.
Parents realized that their kids were becoming addicted to CoComelon to the point where they wouldn't be able to move away from the screen. And they weren't learning anything from the show either. The show focused solely on keeping the children's attention with bright colors, repetitive songs, and fast jump cuts, all of which are tactics that the show uses to keep kids hooked.
Let's see how many seconds it takes for each one of these scenes to change. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
This epidemic of overstimulation can be compared to the feeling that you get from substances, hence why CoComelon is so addictive to children. And it's not just random TikTokers that have said this. Actual childhood experts have chimed in, agreeing that CoComelon is too overstimulating for kids, which can lead to addiction. CoComelon watchers are usually between ages 2 and 5, which are critical years when it comes to early childhood development. This is the time when kids are developing language, creativity, and social skills. And shows like CoComelon have possibly only made these tasks more difficult, and not to mention the disturbing influx of Elsagate content that's taken over all of the.
That's why I don't think that parents should let TV, apps, games, music teach their kids. Listen, before your child enters the school, right? Your child should already know how to write their name, say their first and last name, how old they are. You should know what 2 + 2 is. They should know some stuff before they go in there. And these shows and stuff like that we put them in front of, it's not going to educate them. It's not going to teach them. It starts from home.
Kid-friendly platforms. And I have a whole separate video of that you can watch. All of this inappropriate content not only has caused concern for Gen Alpha parents, but also for teachers as well. Because not only are kids becoming more addicted to screens, but they're also doing much worse in school. The dumber generation.
He said the dumber generation.
Hey guys,
what? Wait a minute. You gonna give me an ad though?
And today we'll learn how to create this toggle switch.
It's a common theme in social media for people to say that Gen Alpha is considered one of the dumber generations.
Damn.
The more kids become addicted to their screens, the harder it is for them to live a life away from it.
So, the generation before me and the generation before that are hooked on YouTube, causing chaos, getting in their egos, getting their egos inflamed. Are they the dumbest generation now too? Because at one point they were smart and wise. And it's not for everybody, right? Hey, but hey, if the shoe fits, wear that itch. But if it doesn't apply, let it fly.
That includes during school hours. It's as if kids are having a harder time paying attention, likely because the internet may be conditioning their brains to shorter content, hence a shorter attention span. Teachers around the world have been going viral on TikTok after sharing just how concerned they are about the educational development of their Gen Alpha students. They've said that students are now reading and writing at several grade levels behind, with a large majority of kids being unable to understand basic literacy, spelling, and grammar.
That's true.
This 8th grade kid could not spell a single word correctly on his list.
An 8th grade kid cannot spell the word discovery, expect, regular, memorize, commitment, unique, recognize, particular, specifically, or accomplish. All the words were misspelled. And this child is in 8th grade. I'm glad they didn't put the name or nothing like that. So, but yo, we got to do better as parents, man. Our generation is also getting sucked into social media. And the generation before us and the generation before that. We need to lead by example. It starts with us. See, if we come on here doing the same, doing all this dumb shit online, guess what? They're going to do it too. People think that kids don't watch. Kids watch. Y'all think that if y'all in here shouting and screaming like in the cartoons, they're not going to sit there and try to listen? Man, a lot of these kids do. Some of these kids are ashamed of what their parents do online. Oh, my mom's always online. She's arguing and she's screaming. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Some of these kids are embarrassed. Others just mimic. Once again, it starts from home. So whatever you put onto, whatever you teach your child, your child's going to stick to that. Believe it or not, when they get older, kids get out of pocket. You have to, listen, but they taking the discipline. They're taking parents' rights away. So, I mean, them laws and the bills that Biden and Harris have put in place ties a lot of parents' hands behind their backs. For real, for real. Like, if your child says that they saying Trump's going to change all that. For example, now DHS is getting involved, right? You know what? I'm going to leave that. Oh, shit. There was just a shootout. Damn, where the fuck was that at? That was somewhere close. Damn. What time is it? They out there shooting 2:33 in the goddamn morning. God damn. They let loose like 10 shots. Like, listen, man, as parents, we're the example. We got to lead by example. All this shit that's going on, man, y'all think the kids are not mimicking? They mimicking everything. And it's a shame how some kids out here in the hood are saying that they feel embarrassed of the things that their parents be doing online. And y'all wonder why these kids do the things that they do out there. But, we're going to play this right here. And then I'm going to leave that for the story time because, that was story time. Like, people like family members, people out here calling DHS on people that, that they have a problem with. Like, this shit be getting out of pocket. And I'm going to speak on it, right? Because, I've been through it. So I'm going to use my story instead of somebody else's story.
8th grade.
TikTok user QBski is an elementary school teacher from Atlanta, Georgia, who took to TikTok to express his concern for the students in his class. He said that although he teaches a 7th grade class, many of his students are nowhere near that level of education.
I teach 7th grade, they are still performing on the 4th grade level. Ain't nobody talking about how they just keep moving, passing them on. I can put as many zeros in this grade book as I want to. They're gonna move that child to the 8th grade next year.
This teacher even stated that some of the students in his class perform at kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade levels, even though they're just 2 years away from entering high school. And he's not the only teacher that feels this way.
You know what another problem is too? That during the pandemic, a lot of kids graduated. What the fuck? Why are they still shooting? Yo. A lot of these teachers, right? I mean, a lot of these teachers, during the pandemic, a lot of these kids got graduated, the teachers knowing that they needed more help, they needed more support. So they're just passing kids knowing that their grades are low and they need extra help. Schools ain't like before, yo. And a lot of these teachers don't give a fuck. So I always give a shout out to them teachers out there that, by any means, no matter what the situation is, they have a passion for what they do. And you know what? They'll help the kid, they'll help a student prosper, better themselves, become who they're supposed to be in the future. But some of these teachers, they don't care. They just go in there and that's just a quick little easy paycheck. Real shit.
Teach at one of the more affluent schools. When I tell you that these babies cannot read, they cannot write,
real shit.
and they cannot comprehend, I'm not being funny. I'm being dead serious. class.
When it comes to high school kids, it's not much better because the creator, Cool Nace, aka N, said that her 10th and 11th grade English students were only capable of performing at a 6th or 7th grade reading level despite being in their upper years of high school. And other sources continue to claim that Gen Alpha kids don't only have poor learning skills, they have poor behavior too. Young students misbehaving in the classroom has become the new norm, and when teachers like N try to discipline them properly, it doesn't work out.
My principal told me you can't do that in Georgia. They have completely taken discipline out of education at this point, especially in Georgia. You cannot use the grade book to implement any kind of discipline or any kind of enforcement with students. And that is going to be the ruin of our kids.
But it's not just attention disorders that are at fault here. The internet has also given Gen Alpha a golden ticket when it comes to cheating their way through school. ChatGPT.
Yo, hit me with another ad. I need to change. Why am I on this channel?
AI tools like ChatGPT can easily help kids finish their homework in seconds. The shift has reduced the emphasis on work ethic, along with valuable life skills like critical thinking and communication. Without these skills, Gen Alpha has become prone to all sorts of influences, because since they are so conditioned to only look at the...
Yo, that young boy had an iPad, a tablet, and a phone at the same time, watching videos, scrolling videos on the phone while playing the game on the tablet. Yo, some parents is out of pocket.
Surface level, they take most of what they see on social media as the truth without researching for themselves and questioning it. Everything they see online is immediately taken as a fact, which is detrimental to the...
You see how they say it? Everything they see online is immediately taken as a fact. So once again, what these kids see online, they mimic. So what do you think they thinking? I mean, how do you think they think when they see these grown-ass folks doing what they do? They think it's okay for them to do it. And if it's okay for them to do it here on social media, they're capable of doing it out here. We're supposed to be the leaders of our communities. As parents, you see where I'm coming from? I'm not talking about like a community activist or none of that. All right? We're, a lot of us are parents in our communities. And we're supposed to lead in our households. Each and every one of us lead in our household. And we're supposed to teach, educate, protect, defend our kids. And a lot of parents in this era is failing. What has me stuck on stupid is why the generation before us and the generation before them is acting like these kids or worse. Like, this is out of pocket.
These young, impressionable kids. And companies are taking advantage of this. They're targeting a demographic that they shouldn't be. Kids. The gullible generation. Anywhere you go on the internet, you are destined to run into an advertisement. Whether on the TikTok shop or just casually scrolling on social media, marketing has evolved from billboards and newspapers to scrolling on your phone. Adults are able to understand what an organic piece of content is versus a paid promotion, but young kids are less perceptive of this. They use viral trends as guidelines for what they should or should not like, even if it's not meant for them.
As kids consume more online content, including advertising,
they do.
They're being influenced to buy products that are just not made for them.
We see.
I mean, shit, the adults ain't no different. Once again, who do y'all think these kids get this shit from?
This is happening all the time with Gen Alpha, especially due to the rising influence of TikTok. But they aren't alone. Millennials and older generations drive forward these trends and make them mainstream on social media. One product being the infamous Stanley Cup.
Drawing screams of
Millennials, Generation Z, all of them do it. All of them do it.
excitement and tears of joy. This year's hottest status symbol and most coveted holiday gift is the Stanley.
I got a Stanley.
This tumbler cup has become the reason for multiple.
Yo, that Stanley Cup. I've seen grown-ass women fight their man for that stuff. Like, they man be like, I ain't buying that. I ain't spending no money on that. I'm like, damn, is that deep? You cuss your nigga out online? Shit, you could have did that offline. You kind of slipped up today. Y'all ain't that positive. You brought some of that negativity online today.
news headlines and heavy in-person lines as early as 4
Over a
a.m.
Stanley
And
Cup.
because it's so popular, people are willing to go to the ends of the earth to get one. Although this is the new craze, if you want to get your hands on one, it won't be cheap. The Stanley Tumbler will run you back around $45 USD with limited edition cups costing even more than that. This cost is pretty hefty for a water bottle, and it's definitely not one that everyone can afford. But there are consequences if you can't pay for one.
Ohio mom Dana Motika went viral on TikTok, posting how her 9-year-old daughter was bullied for bringing a less expensive look-alike to school.
Dana had bought her daughter a $10 Stanley look-alike from Walmart as a gift for Christmas. Her daughter brought the cup to school after Christmas break, only to come home upset because kids in school were bullying her. The sole reason, because her Stanley Cup was fake. Over the break, multiple girls in her grade had gotten real Stanley Cups as presents, and they were quick to call out Dana's daughter for her dupe. They said that hers was not as cool and made fun of her because of it. To us, it might...
Yo, I hate when kids do that, but what's crazy is, right, we got to be honest. Kids that do that are only mimicking somebody else. They mimicking somebody they look up to. That person is doing it. They think it's okay. They think it's cool. So they doing it. So now they're going to do it to, the person they think they could do it. And just listen. Yo, I listen, believe it or not, in my opinion, I feel as though parents are the reason, right? Some parents, right? If it doesn't apply, let it fly. I'm just speaking in general, right? Some parents are the reason why some kids turn into monsters. Why? Some kids out here are the biggest bullies.
Might seem wild that a young girl is being bullied over not having an expensive water bottle, but for Gen Alpha, this is their new reality. Gen Alpha has become possibly one of the most materialistic generations ever. With so much advertising being shown at their young eyes, these kids feel the need to buy everything they see or face the fear of not fitting in. And it's not just Stanley Cups that have proven this. Earlier this year, the beauty retailer Sephora made headlines after multiple story times about Sephora 10-year-olds went viral on TikTok.
Viral clips have been going around of kids going in Sephora making a big mess.
Yo!
A mama bear will always protect her cub. Especially.
During this trend, dozens of people flooded the TikTok For You page with their own personal horror stories with Generation Alpha shoppers at the makeup store. They complained that the kids were rude and had no respect for anyone or anything in the store.
Yo, it's crazy. You got 10-year-olds hooked on this genre. But listen, what's crazy is, right, I normally see old heads hooked on this like that. Like, the trend has gotten to the point where now it's the kids. That's why I was like, listen, I'm not just blaming the kids. A lot of the adults have part in this shit, believe it or not. Because what kids do is they mimic. They really do mimic. We got to be careful what we expose our kids to, right? And as a parent, right, I try my best. And it's not easy, right? I got 2 big support systems, right? My fiance and my kid's godmother, right? And they're my biggest support system out here in this world. I trust them before I trust anybody out there. Because, like, listen, believe it or not, I've had family that has tried to influence my kids. Listen, man, we're going to get into that in a little bit. So you got to be careful what you expose your kids out here and make sure. Sometimes even when you talk to your kids, right, there's people that'll find ways to get into your kid's head and make them do certain things, right? Manipulation, brainwash, that's a part of it. Shout out to the word, right? He explains a lot of this stuff. Make sure if y'all haven't checked him out, go check him out. Y'all haven't subbed up, make sure y'all subbed up because trust me, he's got great conversations, great topics, and you won't be disappointed.
I'm in Sephora right now, and I'm going to count how many 10-year-olds I see. 1, 2, 3. Currently walking past a 10-year-old getting her eyebrows done. 4, 5, 6. There's a whole group of them over here.
Kids as young as 4 were shopping in the aisles of Sephora for expensive beauty products that they clearly did not need. The reason behind it?
Facts,
All
Commander.
she wants for the holidays is, well, not toys, but skincare products.
All I wanted this year was skincare and makeup.
Social media has become Gen Alpha.
I don't think kids in this era even play with toys no more. It's rare. I love the fact that even if it's a LOL, look, man, my daughter wants to play. She wants to play. I don't care if it's a LOL. I'll go get her the little dolls, the little toys, the little playhouse, and let her play. Have an imagination. For real, for real. I'm not going to have her sitting here trying to be grown when she's only 7 going on 8. I don't want her to be grown. I want her to enjoy her childhood.
Alpha's go-to guide for how to live their life. Whatever they see influencers do, they want to do. Whatever they see influencers buy, they want to buy. With every beauty influencer on platforms like TikTok and Instagram becoming obsessed with skincare, it was only natural for Gen Alpha kids to follow in their footsteps. But this can be a red flag, especially for parents, as social media sets a bad example for young girls. The Sephora Kids trend is a prime example. These young girls do not need to be spending hundreds of dollars on beauty products that are targeted at adults. These products have chemicals and ingredients that can be harmful to kids, especially the ones that have gone viral online. Drunk Elephant is the name on every Gen Alpha's tongue. Originally a skincare brand meant for millennials, now a larger portion of Drunk Elephant's consumer base consists of beauty-obsessed kids, with products priced from $20 to upwards of over $100.
That's a beauty product? Why they call it Drunk Elephant? I don't understand this. Like, why is y'all letting this, like, why? Y'all little girls, like, listen, man, there's natural ways to cleanse your body, your face, your skin, everything. Y'all ain't got to sit here and spend all this money buying all this shit online, getting your kids, like, what's crazy is the majority of the people in the hood on welfare, SSI, are the ones that are really doing this shit, yo. I mean, you got some working parents out there too. Some. But there's a lot of working parents out here that I noticed that, you know, try to put their kids on a budget and stuff like that. Listen, man, I know what it is. Like, trust me, man. Like, yo, what is it? See, it starts at home. Do you blame the kids or do you blame the parents? I blame both. Real shit.
This is definitely not a brand that most kids can afford to buy, at least without the help of their parents. But is this really something that parents want to be getting for their kids? Right? Many of these Drunk Elephant products contain ingredients like peptides, acids, and retinol, which can all be damaging to youthful skin. Retinol is a form of vitamin A that's known for its anti-aging effects, with higher concentrations being used to fight wrinkles. These kinds of high concentrations are regularly found in beauty products and are definitely not meant for young girls. But it's not only physical health concerns the parents are having about this growing obsession with skincare and makeup. It's also the mental effects too.
Social media is doing this, and this could be setting up a lot of young girls with issues that'll follow them well into adulthood.
Young girls are constantly being overwhelmed with societal beauty standards and ever-changing trends in fashion and beauty. And for Gen Alpha, this pressure has only increased with the influx of social media influencers. They look up to influencers more than they do their own parents. But is this influence positive or negative? I'm addicted.
Have you ever tried to visit a website only to have like 90% of it taken up by ads? Pi.org is a web browser extension that lets you decide.
Gen Alpha.
Yo, once again, my question is going to lead back to who is to blame, the child or the parent? And in this situation, I blame more the parents than the kids. You see where I'm coming from? Like, yeah, some kids can sit here and manipulate the parents, but the parents should know better. They should know better as parents.
Is social media obsessed. It's said that by the age of 1, the average Gen Alpha kid already has over 100 pictures of them posted on social media. Almost every Gen Alpha kid is on social media. It's their main form of communication with their friends and where they get the latest news. But their social media screen time is often unregulated by parents, so there's no telling what these Gen Alpha kids are watching on their devices. And that's the scary part. Although most social media platforms have age restrictions or content guidelines, kids can easily bypass them just by lying about their age. And regardless if the platform is meant for younger audiences, anyone can break the rules by posting inappropriate content anyway. TikTok, the most popular platform for Gen Alpha, is a mishmash of all different sorts of content. The For You page throws a bunch of different videos together in an endless scroll, showing users the type of content that they like, as well as new content that they've never seen before. One of the most common trends that you can find on social media is thirst trapping. This form of content is meant to attract attention from viewers, usually in the form of posing, dancing, or acting seductively. Although the nature of this content is meant for a much older audience, there's a ton of kids participating in these trends without realizing its implications. It's become more and more common to see a
See, and that just proves my point right there. A lot of grown-ups think that there's only adults in their chats. But in reality, believe it or not, kids come across our lives. Kids, be in our chat and we be thinking that it's adults. The same way predators lurk in the chats and, so-called trolls be on chat and stuff like that, right? Kids be on chats too. And some of these kids call themselves trolls. So we have to be careful. We got to lead by example. That's why I'm cautious and I watch what I do. I don't listen. I don't feed into what people say on here. People want to talk, go ahead. For me, if I notice that, certain shit is not right in certain places, I'm not there. And I don't watch. Out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. That's the best thing to do. Because I am not giving in to what people want here on social media. And if I'm going to, teach that to my kids, I got to lead by example.
Gen Alpha kid dressed up in revealing clothing making thirst trap content, which in itself is already unsettling. But not to mention, there's no telling who's watching or saving this content online, which can leave them vulnerable to a certain audience that may have other intentions. With the influx of OF promotions, adult content is becoming more accessible. With social media heavily influencing young people, it's become difficult for them to see the importance of real relationships. 1 in 4 children go outside to play nowadays, missing crucial social interactions. Most of Gen Alpha spends their time indoors consuming media meant for adults. The severe dopamine addictions from internet platforms like TikTok have resulted in negative effects on younger generations, as simple as enjoying their day-to-day life. Kids no longer have the patience for anything because they're so used to the instant gratification that social media provides them. Kids can't do simple, everyday tasks like brushing their teeth, eating food, or using the restroom without the constant stimulation of a screen. Gen Alpha becomes impatient and frustrated at the drop of a hat, with even the smallest inconveniences getting blown out of proportion, turning into full tantrums or breakdowns. With most of their learning coming from the internet, they're being exposed to horrible behavior from those entitled influencers that they see online.
And when you look at the biggest influencers now who flaunt their opulent lifestyles and endorse things like OnlyFans, are these really the people you want raising your children?
Now, the question is Generation Alpha really doomed? I've talked a lot about the problems of Gen Alpha, but there are still many strengths that they have. Gen Alpha has access to more resources, knowledge, and tools than ever before. They're living in an exciting time, with technology advancing at such a rapid pace and them being so adaptable to it. If they're able to use the internet for good rather than bad, they can become some of the most intelligent people on the planet. And they're also born with empathy inside them. The future can be bright for Gen Alpha. All they need is a little guidance and a push in the right direction. We, as people who care, can monitor what our siblings are doing on social media. And as adults, we can teach our kids the value of hard work, and we can be better examples for them to follow. My friends, it's time to stop the internet from destroying this generation. Visual venture. Wait, before you go, make sure you guys click.
He ain't lying. Do y'all believe that, I feel as though that it starts from home, right? The influence and all that. Because social media is doing what it's supposed to do, right? And if negativity is what we're pushing, that's what the algorithm is going to push. So that's what we got. We let this happen. We're the ones that support certain things here on social media. And what's crazy is, right, it took a lot of people, a couple people, not a lot, a couple people on here to show me that, a lot of people on here are just for clicks and views or to get some money, right? They don't care about bringing awareness. They don't care about having civil conversations. They just want to come on here and they think that, by being disrespectful, they're going to make it to the top. But see, when you cheat your way up, you're going to fall hard as shit. So that's why I lead with respect. I could be joking. Listen, man, I could be funny. I could be goofy. I could joke around. I ain't really the roasting type. You see where I'm coming from? So at the end of the day, listen, I make sure I lead with respect. But there's people on here that don't. If the adults don't lead by respect, how do y'all expect these kids to lead by respect? Adults act like fools. How y'all expect these kids to, behave or do what they got to do? They mimicking exactly what they see adults do. And if you're doing it, to them is okay. For real, for real. So I want to show you this one last video real quick, because this is what they're doing in Australia. I think they should do it here, right? Big shout out to the people that be sending me these videos, right? Because I feel as though this, this is a day, I think this has been posted a day ago. I'm not sure. But let's watch it.
Australian legislators introduced a landmark bill Thursday to ban social media for children under 16. Lee Canary explains what this could mean for social media companies.
In Australia, just posting on social media could soon be against the law if you're too young.
I want Australian parents and families to know that the government has your back.
Australia's Prime Minister says he's worried about the safety of kids as his government considers a bill to ban social media for anyone under 16. It's the highest age limit set by any country in the world.
Social media is doing harm to our kids, and I'm calling time on it.
The ban would cover platforms like X, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, but allow exceptions for low-risk use with apps for mental health and education. If they fail to keep children off their platforms, social media companies could receive fines of over $30 million. Some see it as government overreach. Ex-owner Elon Musk posted it seems like a backdoor way to control access to the internet by all Australians.
Nah, I don't see it as a backdoor way to control social media. I see it as a way to keep these kids off of social media. Parents should be able to keep their kids off social media. Like, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but listen, social media has been the easiest way to lure these kids, to their death easily. Social media has been the main cause. I mean, I blame the parents for letting the kids on it, right? But yeah, social media has been the main cause where kids have, committed suicide a lot due to bullying. See, bullying doesn't just happen out here in these streets, right? It happens a lot on social media, believe it or not. And not just the kids get bullied on social media. You got grown adults that get bullied on here, right? And it's crazy. And I say bully, yes, because you got motherfuckers on here really trying to touch somebody to get them out of character. And certain people, sometimes we have to learn how to walk away because somebody just wants you to get out of character. They feel this type of way, so they want you to feel the same way that you're feeling. They want you to react the way they react. You see where I'm coming from? So, listen, social media is undefeated. But it's the people on social media. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, we should not be having our kids online, on social media at all, by themselves, scrolling up and down, doing lives, being on chats, none of that. As parents, we should be on them. I shouldn't be permitted. Too much is going on. Too many kids going missing. Too many kids getting put into sex trafficking, human trafficking. Kids being lured by predators online, manipulated easy through video games and chats. But people don't want to hear that. They don't. Social media influences these kids easy. And kids fall for it. They're the easiest targets. But parents ain't paying attention. Half of these parents are online faking some beef, building a script while their kids are being lured. Like, let's be real. Why are you letting your child 6, 7 years old have their own Snapchat account, their own Instagram account, their own TikTok? Why? Your child should not be on social media unless you're with them. And if anything, it should be on your social media account that you should be watching what they want to watch. I mean, hey, look, listen, I'm different. So once again, this is my opinion. This is how I feel, and this is what I think.
Others welcomed it.
Looking at it from a teacher's perspective, I think it's really important that it's banned due to cyberbullying, because there's a lot of youth suicide happening at the moment.
Suicide is the leading cause of death for teens in Australia, and experts have linked time online to a mental health crisis. But how they'll enforce the new law is not yet clear. Australia plans to trial a system that uses facial recognition technology, but admits it's not foolproof.
The kids are smart, right? Like, we're smart, we'll find our way to get around it.
The bill heads to the Senate next week, but it could take a year before Australia's kids are logged off. Lee Canary, CBS News, London.
I mean, to me, it's not a bad law. I don't know what y'all think, but I hope, hopefully, that we could do something like that over here in Philly, because it's so much happening online on social media that our kids should not be paying attention to that. Our kids should be out here enjoying that fresh air, into some type of program, but instead they're out here following trends. That's what they're doing. She said the kids are going to be pissed. Oh, well, listen, I'm not against it on some real shit. My daughter ain't so pressed about it. She don't even own a phone. Like, she has to use our phones. Shit. So at the end of the day, listen, I know what she watches. Sometimes I sit down and I watch certain shows with her. Sometimes I don't, because certain shows get on my nerves. And I'll be like, why is you even watching this? This is lowering your IQ. For real, for real. So yeah, we have to be cautious of what our kids do online. And it starts from home once again. So, I mean, I don't know what y'all thinking, how y'all feel about that, but y'all can let y'all can let us shorty know in the chat, or y'all can let us shorty know if you're catching the replay in the comments down below. Just that, like, hey, let's talk about it. But on another note, right? I was talking to some lady, right? This lady was having issues with somebody, right? This person doesn't like her. So this person ends up calling DHS on her, right? This lady still has DHS in her house right now and is trying to figure out what to do, because they accused her of doing things, unthinkable things to her child. So now she's fighting for her child. I feel bad because, listen, man, when people make certain accusations, right, on certain people, it's hard for certain people, right, especially if they're good parents, to fight the system to get their child back. Like, when you accuse somebody of the unthinkable, like, for them to prove their innocence to the system, sometimes, like, I be feeling bad for certain parents, right? And I can sit here, like I said, I'm blessed, right? Because I've had similar situations, right? In my situation, I have my kid's grandmother, my kid's father, my first two kids, I have two boys, and their father is deceased, right? But their grandma is one racist son of a itch, for real, right? And ever since my kid's godfather has been in my life, she's had it, a little thing. But my thing is, right, lady, you do know that your son's father is black as shit. I hate women, right, that have racist tendencies, but I really think she's just full-blown out racist, because she has a tendency of calling people that, are dark of skin, they have a darker skin complexion, cucarachas, moreno feos, and all this shit. I've always had a problem with her with that. And we bump heads a lot. Yes, we do, right? So I be trying to stay away from her, and I try to keep my kids with me, because this lady, first of all, she's not good, right? She wasn't good for their dad. Like, even though their dad was a mama's boy and he went back to her, I mean, which I think is a bad thing, but he have a good life with this lady, and to me, she's not a real mother. Like, racism is sexism. I hope I said it right, right? But I try my best to stay away, because, like, I know how she is. But since I don't pay her no mind, right? And when I don't pay her no mind at all, because I'm not that, that teenager that your son first met. I'm a grown-ass woman with kids now. You see where I'm coming from? Like, I'm grown. So this lady, I don't know what's up with her. She's sick in the head. Like, I think it's 3 to 4 times she called DHS on me in the past. Recently, she called it. And Ray, she thought she was going to do some shit. I'm sitting here, I'm like, lady, is you tripping? I do what I got to do for my kids. So I understand when people, Satanism. Okay. I thought there was an N in there. Yeah, there is Satanism. There you go. Chill, chill, chill. But this lady is so miserable, right? First of all, she don't like my youngest son, but she loves my oldest son. But she still treats him like crap. The same way she treated her sons, she kind of treats my sons, right? And I keep her away for a reason, right? Because this lady, this lady sat here and she's the reason why her son has an addiction. This is why I tell parents, right? When you got kids and you got them type of habits, right? When you sitting out here hitting lines and stuff like that, don't send your kids out to get drugs for you. Don't sit here and do drugs with your kids. Like I cannot respect a woman that does that. When my baby pops confessed that to me and my kid's godmother, I looked at that lady like, really? Yo. But this lady has tried to make it impossible for me and my kids, right? And what's crazy is, right, she's tried it with the people that are around me that are my biggest support system. And that doesn't work. So she be trying it with my kids. She's tried, like, listen, man, she's tried so many things to bring me down, to destroy me. She's like, listen, I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, this lady, I call her, listen, at times I'll be like, Cruella, Cruella, Cruella. Yo, because it's like, yo, you can't hurt me. That shit makes me laugh. Ronan, I don't know what that means, but I understand what Satan means. Blessings, blessings, Uncle L, right? But once again, right, we have people around us that hate on some real shit. And when you're a good parent, people out there is going to hate even more. But here's what I noticed about this lady, right? She wasn't a good parent. And I think it bothers her that everyone around me says I'm a good parent. At times I be feeling like I'm the worst mom, or I'm not doing a good job, or I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. But shit, these people around me, they pick me up. So it's like, I don't know why is it that she tries to tear somebody down that's raising her grandkids. And that's why, I've had people say, oh no, family comes first. Hey, listen, I'm not mad at people that'll sit here and walk away from family. Sometimes you have to. Family will be the first ones to put that knife on your back, right? And pull it out and pretend like they ain't do shit. They'll be the first ones to turn on you. First ones to sit here and try to harm you. And that's how it is. Lady, like, if you would have had if your grandkids would have had a mother that was bad, abusive, and didn't care, shit, I would understand why somebody would do things like that. But like I said, once again, I'm glad for my support system, because every time she's tried that shit against me, case closed. Recently, she's tried it. Oh, she's doing this and she's doing that. I'm like, man, listen, whatever social worker comes out, I'm like, hey, you're more than welcome. Let me tell you, I got a dog in here. Just please don't be scared. Come in, come in, come in. You could check from top to bottom. Food in there. I'm a community activist. Here's my credentials. This is what I do. Blah, 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 blah. And I look at her like, yo. And the last time she did it, I told the social worker, I was like, look, listen, this is what I'm going to do, right? If y'all come back into my house knowing that this is all false reports, I want y'all to slap her with a lawsuit, because y'all definitely know who it is, right? The first 2 times they told me who it was because I knew who the social worker was. The last time they was on some, we got to protect the caller. So ladies, when you have a hater that calls DHS on you, like I was telling the old head from the other day, like, listen, I know this by experience. Not so long ago, I went through it. People is going to hate, especially when you're doing something good. It's just fucked up how some people try to do it like that. They try to hit you by trying to take your kids away. They try to take everything from you, make you feel like you ain't worth shit. But you don't even have to show them, because there's more to yourself. You have to prove to yourself, right, that they're wrong. You can't let people get in your head. We have to be better than that. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people try to hit you whichever way, right? And that was just a little short story, right? And to let people know that, like, listen, doesn't matter if it's a friend, doesn't matter if it's a family member, be careful. Watch your circle. Don't trust everybody around you, because not everybody that says that ride for you, everybody that is with you, damn, how did I forget the phrase so fast? Not everybody that says they ride for you is with you, is for you, right? Yeah, I think that's what 22 Ronan is saying, that Racism comes from Satan. But like I said, once again, man, we can't be scared. We got to stand up, fight for what we believe in. And if you're, if you're doing the right thing, you'll be able to come out of them type of situations that, you get hit with. A lot of us get hit with so many obstacles, right? And the thing is, like I tell people, I lead with respect. I got morals, right? I got dignity. Listen, I ain't going to sit here and screw my life over because I got to show them. They're the reason I'm doing everything that I'm doing. And along the way, I'm going to get haters. It's going to be people in my life that at one point saw me one way and now they hating because I'm accomplishing everything they probably wanted to accomplish. But see, my thing is, I'm not trying to be you. I'm not trying to be you. I'm trying to be me. You see where I'm coming from? So that's the problem that a lot of people have out here, right? Because listen, I'm the type of person, and I've said it to the lady, trust me. Like, my thing is, right, once again, the problem with people is that they ask questions and they don't like the answers to. Don't ask questions. Don't like with my kid's godmom. She just doesn't like the answers I give. And I question everything. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be respectful. And a lot of people, like, that's why me and her bump heads, because she's wrong with a lot of shit. The way she treat people, the way she talk to people, you're wrong. Way wrong. You can't get mad at me because you're wrong. But then you're mad because I'm doing everything I got to do. You cheat your way in life. I don't. So with that being said, the hate is going to come from everywhere when you're doing the right thing. You just got to keep your head up. Don't let nobody knock you off your hinges. Keep doing what you're doing. There's no shame in my game. Like, at the end of the day, I've been through it. And like I said, hopefully my story helps somebody out there, but you cannot let these people get into your head. This lady has tried to get into my kid's head. It didn't work. Just recently, she tried to sit here and manipulate the story of how, their father died to get my kids to get mad at somebody that's been there for them for the longest. That shit is backfiring on her. See, we got to be careful, right? When family do that, what y'all do with these kids is y'all create hate. Y'all create anger. That's why we need parents. Like I tell parents, don't sugarcoat shit. Tell your kids everything. Be honest with your kids. As time passes by, you're able to talk with your kids about certain things. You see where I'm coming? Like, take it one step at a time with your kids. Don't lie to your kids. Because when shit like that comes, there's going to be people that's trying to get in their heads, and then your kids are guided into the wrong direction. With me, when she tries to get in their head, that's when stepmom kicks in. Stepmom's like, bring him to me. I got him. I'm going to deal with him. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to help him out. Boom, boom, boom. And we work together. Same thing with my other son. His aunt is with him. We working together with my son. Because at the end of the day, their safety is what matters. With my oldest, it was the games, like when I put my foot down and I was like, yo, this is not working. This gaming shit, no. I need him out here in the real world. I understand that the, computers and all that's his safe space, but I need him out here with me. I need him to understand the reality out here. But people took that very offensive. So I'm like, look, listen, I'm his mother. So when I got hard on him, shit went a little left. That's when Auntie stepped in. That's why sometimes we need that support system. See, they didn't have their father in their life because he was deceased. So it's not like, I got to tell a lot of people, it's not like I can say abracadabra, rise from the dead and come help me. I couldn't do that. I had to figure this out on my own. And I'm grateful that I had my kid's godfather. I had my kid's godmother. Each step of the way helping me. Each one, like, listen, my kid's godfather almost risked going to jail a couple of times helping me out. Because he's out here helping and defending my kids. Give me a second. I just keep hearing a lot of records outside. Give me 1 second. Let me see what's going on. Because they sound like they right in front of my house. They don't talk about us. Only when there's a crime. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that in this world, with or without money, we're all rich, even the poor? The problem is those that say that I'm reaching out to give a hand. Instead, they leeching hands is itching, ready to see you missing. Well, thinking what to write, something inside me told me I can freestyle or I can rap. I can go with a rhythm that can make you dance. Tell you what I see on a daily, tell you everything's okay just to avoid dilemma. Or I can simply bring you something positive to the table and warn you of the ongoing problems that we're having. Instead, I have to reach out to my conscience once again as I watch the crime and the violence rise and the kids lose their innocence. Now the concept of forming a home day by day loses its essence. They don't want to hear that. I can't keep my arms crossed in front of the system. If I don't do something, I'm also part of the problem. As guilty as the one that pulls the trigger, like the person in the crowd that hits the record button on their phone to expose a lie instead of the truth for clout. They need 1,000 views. The government doesn't have a solution. The problem started when we took God out the equation. The problem ain't us celebrating. The problem is that we a nation divided when we should be a nation united and praying. That's how we live today. When problems occur, we come up with a meaning. Laugh a little, move on with no care in the world, as if it ain't even a thing in this world. If it's like this today, I don't want to see the future. Because nowadays, they'll make a meme out of a person that can't even see the day of light no more. What makes you think they care? They can't even break bread at the table. I don't know how you want to be rappers and lyricists can go on with life, living on an illusion of nothing good to write. Talking about killing someone, selling drugs with pride, until the scripts are flipped and it's someone you love dies. Right? This ain't solved by activating the National Guards and going behind bars. This is deep, this is me and you. And they say as time pass by, it will heal everything. Shit, you know these scars? I seen time flash by and everything. Leaving me on standby, ready to kill everything. Alone in the mirror, looking at myself, say, girl, you're everything. Yo, it's going down outside. I knew I wasn't tripping when I heard them gunshots a minute ago. Yo, it's going down. It's going down. Welcome to Philly, baby. It's 3:17 in the morning. People drunk. Cars out there. Pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. People shout out. But yeah, like I was saying, man, we have to be careful with everybody around us. Not everybody that says they ride with you is for you. A lot of people is hating on the low. So listen, man, our kids be the target. Like, when people can't get to you by trying to, come at you or say something that'll hurt you, people will try you, right? People will try you by coming at your kids. That's why you got to be careful what you say here online, because a lot of people take that shit seriously. And for their kids, I think some people will crash out. You see where I'm coming from? So, I mean, I know for mine, I will. That's why I tell people, man, watch what you say on this bitch. Don't threaten motherfuckers, because people will take that shit seriously. Very seriously. So, stay inside. I am inside. I just had to go see what the hell was going on out there. It was a lot of commotion, a lot of ruckus. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I went and checked. But yeah, that was a little quick story time out there, man. It's crazy how when somebody really, really has some deep hate. And my thing is, right, where my kid's grandmom is, you have a problem because my kid's godfather is black. Bitch, you had Black D inside of you and had a kid with him. Because listen, my baby pops, my kid's father's dad, he is darker than my kid's godfather. That's why I'm looking at this lady like, really? Like, now that he's old, he look like Black Santa Claus. But you got a problem with black men, with black women? Bitch, get the fuck out my face. Go sit the fuck down in a corner somewhere. Obey. Like, I can't stand women like that. And then you wasn't even a good mother to top it off. Then you sit, like, listen, people come on, like I said. You gotta watch it. Friends, family, you just gotta watch your circle. Watch your circle, watch your surroundings, and be careful, man. Because people be having it for people for no reason. For no reason at all. And it's crazy. But yeah. Shit, I'll never be weak. Like I tell people, I stand 10 toes down. But my kids, listen, man, don't fuck with my kids. Because like I tell people, man, I'll be the first one to call. Listen, 911, shit. What's your emergency? I just committed a crime. I need an officer over here with an orange suit and them bracelets. Take me to jail, baby. I'll commit the crime and go confess. I'll take the charges. I'll do the time. You got me fucked up. That's what I'm saying. Like, people gotta be careful, man. See, I ain't going looking for you, but if you looking for me, shit, you gonna get exactly what you're looking for. Don't come out here looking for fucking beef if you can't handle the smoke that comes with that shit. Stay out the kitchen if you're scared of fire. So yeah, like I said, man, you got to be careful of those. Some people will sit here and try to use the system to get at you, right? And they'll aim for your kids. They'll aim for somebody that they love. I mean, that you love. And shit just goes left from there. But yeah, that's all the time that I got. You know, the link is pinned up if anybody want to come up before I end this, John, right? But shit is out of pocket. Like, that's how I feel. Like, some people on here I can't take serious. I really can't. And once again, these are random topics, right? The whole topic, you know, we had 2 main topics, right? Make sure your mouth match them hands. And parents sometimes have to make the hard sacrifice. That's why, you know, I put my story out there. A lot of people know my story. So ain't no shame in my story, for real, for real. Ain't no shame at all. And as long as it brings, you know, awareness to something and helps somebody out, that's what matters. To me, that's what matters. Like, people on here making fools of themselves. Like, what is you doing out there? Have you helped somebody? Have you done something for yourself? Is you respecting yourself? Is you loving yourself? Like, hey. But yeah, on that note, I'm about to get off this joint. I've been almost 3 hours on here, 2 hours, 51 minutes. It's 3:22 in the morning. Here in Philly, man. Welcome to Philly, baby, yo. The motherfuckers out there causing chaos and commotion. HP is shout out. Like, listen, man, I guess people getting drunk. They getting litty lit out here, man. Welcome to HP. They getting really litty lit. So, I appreciate everybody that's come through. Listen, I appreciate the positive conversations. Y'all didn't have to be here, but y'all chose to be here today, keeping a shorty company, conversing with a shorty. Yo, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate my day 1 subscribers, my new subscribers. Like, if it wasn't for y'all, a shorty wouldn't have made it this far. For real, for real. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that help a shorty bring awareness. Each and every one of y'all that share the videos, the ones that, you know, like the videos. Y'all don't have to like them. But, you know, a lot of you do. So I appreciate y'all, right? If y'all can, help a shorty out by sharing the video. If you ain't subbed up, make sure y'all subbed up, because I normally don't, you know, schedule lives. I'm going to start trying to schedule these lives for the weekends, but I normally don't. But we're about to change that. Make sure y'all subbed up, right? And I'm going to see y'all on my next live. Till next time. I appreciate y'all once again, yo. And let's keep bringing awareness to them topics, right? To certain situations. Like I said, I'm not scared of sitting here touching the topics that everybody else is scared to talk about. What I know now, sometimes I wonder, would I be the same or would I be different? A shorty still believes in fairy tales and imagination that lasts forever. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life. Help me see the light through all the pain and strife. I wake up in the morning feeling lost and alone, wondering if life's worth living or if I should grab the throne. The weight of the world on my shoulders is hard to bear. I see no change, it's like nobody cares. I look in the mirror, see a stranger staring back, lost in the world that's spinning off track. I ask myself, is this all there is, or should I give up and let the darkness win? I see no change, just the same old game. Wake up in the morning, I ask myself, is life worth living, or should I blast myself? I see no change, just the same old pain, but I know deep down, I gotta break these chains. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of time, fix my mistakes, will things change? Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life, help me see the light through all the pain and strife. If I can go back in time, tell my younger self it's gonna be fine. Embrace the challenges, let your light shine. You'll grow and learn, just give it time. Hey young me, listen up, don't be afraid. Life's a journey, mistakes will be made. Chase your dreams, don't let them fade. Believe in yourself, you'll make the grade. Don't stress about what others say. Stay true to yourself every day. Love deeply, laugh often. Don't delay, cause in the end, it's how you play. Be kind to others along the way. Spread love and positivity each day. Don't worry about what they may say, cause your uniqueness is here to stay. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of times. Fix my mistakes when things change. Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life. Help me see the light through all the pain and strife. If I can meet my younger self, I tell her not to be afraid, that courage will be her wealth, and bravery will never fade. Don't fear the challenges ahead, for you'll face them head on. Your inner strength will dawn. You'll grow up to be a warrior, standing tall, unafraid and strong. A parent, a role model, and inspired, fighting for what's right all along. Sometimes I wonder if I turn back the hands of time. Fix my mistakes when things change. Oh Lord, guide me through this journey of life. Help me see the light through all the pain and strife. Looking back on all the roads I've traveled, regrets and lessons learned along the way, but still holding on to hope and faith that with God's grace, a brighter day will come our way. I see no change at all. I'm stuck in this cycle, feeling so small. I ask myself, is this all there is, or should I just end it all with a final kiss? I try to stay strong, but it's getting harder each day. The pain and the struggle won't seem to go away. I'm tired of the lies, tired of the deceit. I see no change, just defeat after defeat. I wake up in the morning feeling lost and alone, wondering if life's worth living or if I should grab the throne. The weight of the world on my shoulders is hard to bear. I see no change, it's like nobody